here. All right. Welcome to the FeedBak podcast, everybody. My name is Back, and this is episode 213. Holy shit. Yes.
Wow.
This is what happens when you're
It's a
consistent with
lot.
things,
Look
right?
at you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's impressive.
Couple PSAs. As always, make sure you follow the FeedBak everywhere on social media. The FeedBak BAK, of course. I'm tired of this joke. It's in my name. Number two, go back to the archive. I've talked to a lot of funny people. Sean Patton, Godfrey, if you want to go back like 6 years or so. JT Kelly, Mike Hudak, Nate Klingon, who was on last week. So make sure you go check that out. But without further ado, let me introduce my guest. I don't even know how to introduce you, Rachel. Okay.
I'm just some girl he found at an open mic.
No. Hold on. No, so this is what happened. This is what happened because for some reason, I followed you on Instagram.
Okay.
Not stalkerish.
Wait, you followed me on Instagram before I met you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I just follow comics as they come to town and stuff. So
Oh,
because
okay.
now
So
my
I
Instagram,
must have been on a show that you.
yeah. Because now my
Okay.
Instagram is all comedy now.
Yes, same.
Yes.
I've lost a lot
And
of
I'm like,
followers.
who are these people? Oh, okay, they seem cool. Let's just follow.
Yeah.
And then I didn't put two and two together. And then when I saw you at the open mic yesterday, and then later on that night, it's like, oh, you know who that is? I'm like, Rachel? I mean, should I Google
Rachel.
something?
So here's also how, I mean, anyone who's listened to my podcast knows I always say this. This is how I make friends. I force them to be my friend. I don't give them a choice. I just walk up and start talking, invite myself. We were at Creek and Cave,
Yes.
having a drink. Just, I don't know anybody there. And I just, I think the girl I came with had to go get back to another club and go close out her car. So I was left by myself. And I'm like, well, this sucks. Here's people. I'm just going to talk to them because they're comics. It's not like, don't take this the wrong way, but you're not normal people. You're not people. You're comics. So for some reason, that doesn't terrify me.
Sure.
Normal people scare the living shit out of me. I would never speak to 4 random men at a bar.
No, I believe, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
totally see that.
it's, you know what I mean? But it's comics at a place where comics go and hang out.
Yeah, there's already something in common. You're not
Yeah,
gonna walk
there's a-
up
it's
to
a-
you
it's
like,
a
so
thing.
you're a
It's
Ravens
a
fan?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna do that.
Yeah, so it felt safe. And then my choices were to go to the Vulcan and hang out with the cool kids or go, you were talking about a mic, and I was just like, oh, I'd much rather go to a mic. I'm going with you. I just invited myself.
Yeah,
I just invited
why not?
myself. And then we got a little posse of people going, and we just
Walked over
walked
to the
over.
blind pig,
Yeah,
pig. And you got a spot, I got a spot, and it was fun.
yeah.
But then like
And then
Then I
insanity,
Googled.
and then insanity, and
no, yeah, we don't go
No.
into that.
I don't know if we should. I don't know if we should
Well,
name names.
no, we don't have
can't
to name
name
names.
names.
No, we can't. We don't
Okay.
have to name names.
'Cause
But
that
just
was
the
bad.
experience alone, because full disclosure, we end up at the Red Rose,
Yeah.
which is a strip club here in Austin. There's the Yellow Rose and Red Rose. If you go back to
What
the
the
archives,
heck's the difference?
none. It's the same people who run both. One is up north, the other one's south.
Yeah, but is there a difference in the caliber of girls?
It's my first time there.
Oh.
So for a Monday night, I think that was all right.
Well, no, it was all right.
It was all right. I mean, I'm not,
I wasn't mad at it.
no, I wasn't either. I mean, if this is the C team or B team,
Yeah, they're
I mean,
doing well.
Yeah,
Well,
I
good
think
job.
they're okay on the Saturday because
Yeah,
I talked
mean-
to the owner, and I was like, look, man, I know the people who work here. Some of them
Yeah.
I've known for years. I just never been.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this is we're just the Monday girls.
Yeah.
But on the weekends it's fucking packed. It's crazy, and I'm like, okay,
I
this is
believe
pretty
it.
good.
It's Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's like where else?
Yeah.
If you're done with bars and you just, I get the appeal. Put it this way.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it is a full. I in California, when someone says strip club,
Mm-hmm.
I thinking of a fully nude club. So that's what I thought we were going to. So I was like,
there's one
which
up
I didn't,
north.
which I didn't care either way. I was just like, whatever.
Come back, I'll
Just
take
gonna
you to
go
the
be.
other
We're
one.
just gonna go be one of the boys last night, and
I was surprised you're actually willing to go.
honestly, that was my roommate telling me that her person is here.
Like I didn't know
Yeah.
because who suggested it? It wasn't you, was it?
It wasn't me. Well, you know what it is? I found out later in the evening
Uh huh.
that it was a little bit not my fault, but a little bit my fault because I was saying like if I moved out here, I was just like I don't know, maybe I'd waitress somewhere, but why would I want to? I don't like. I'd be a terrible food service waitress, but I was like I don't know, maybe I'll work at like a strip club or something, like waiting tables because it's the most amount of money for the least amount of effort is what I was
True, but
thinking.
the most amount of assholes you have to deal with.
I work with comics
True.
in Los Angeles.
Okay,
I'm
point made.
used to it.
Point
It's
made.
fine.
No, but I think it's a different caliber because those are total strangers. You couldn't just walk up.
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic. Because you can
Yeah.
walk up to a comic like, okay, we're in the same grind, we get each other.
I kind of feel like strip clubs and comedy clubs are very similar in the vibe. When I walk in the room,
Uh-huh.
I'm not intimidated by any man in there. In fact, I think they're pathetic. So
In the strip club and in the
yeah, it's
comedy
just
in the comedy
no,
club.
no, no. In this comedy, not in the strip club. Like it just like I'm not. They don't. They don't bother me.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I have a superiority complex when it
You
comes
just
to
said they were
strip clubs.
pathetic, right? Just a second
Yeah,
ago.
that was a very hard P,
Yes,
wasn't
you
it?
just said they were pathetic, but
Kind of
they can't touch
pathetic.
me.
Um, well, I mean, it's a strip club. They paid to get in to see women. Like
It
literally have a
works.
sign, "I'm a simp," stapled on their head. So and like it's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So for
Hmm.
me,
Hmm.
I would probably just laugh because there's it's like you know what I mean because I understand they're in a certain mindset for things. So
Right,
like
right, right.
I don't think they could. Also, I've been in the entertainment industry for so long.
Hmm.
Before I was in the entertainment industry, before they were forced to be nice to you. See
Do your Googles.
now,
Rachel Sterling, ladies and gentlemen. Do your Googles. You'll see our
now,
IMDb goes pretty
now
deep.
they're forced. Like you can't tell a girl they're fat. You can't be mean to them. There's like all these things that you can't do. And I'm not saying that it should continue to be allowed, the abusive behavior. I'm just saying, like, damn, they have it so easy now, because before it was pretty brutal.
Because they can me to them. Is that the
The Me Too thing. I mean that's still happening. The very fact that people think that that's not happening just because somebody
Oh
wore
yeah, it
or
is.
somebody you put a pussy hat on, it's not going to stop anything.
Right, but it's more
So
visible now than it
you
was
have to
before.
literally like if you are a woman that is in any position of power,
Hmm.
you have to be the one. You have to decide: do I take it upon myself to govern all these people? I'm just worried about me, like what's going on. But you're the only person like that can say I won't work on a show that has this because that's the only way they listen. It's and also it's asses in seats. At
Hmm.
the end of the day, I think for anything, it's asses in seats. I mean, just look at what's happened in comedy. You know, I the whole Tony thing. He was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, at the end of the day, I knew it. I'm like, it's gonna be asses in seats. If the man puts asses in seats, it's gonna be a very forgivable offense. People
True.
aren't gonna and we you know we I went. Did you go to Kill Tony yesterday?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went to Kill Tony. Asses were in seats, y'all. Those
He's
asses were all in the
uncancelable.
seats.
He really is uncancelable. I mean, it only
All
makes
it
him
did was give him more
stronger.
material.
That's pretty
Gave
much
him
it.
more material.
You can't.
So,
I don't. You know, what? I don't even feel bad for the other dude. Because I think he
well,
had him. I think now, like I've talked to comics who like, look, if I run into him, I'll punch him dead in the face.
oh, why? That's
Because
ridiculous.
he fucked it. It's one of those like, hey, it only takes one person to fuck it up for everybody, even if it was temporary. But as a principle, if you were to deal with a situation like that, you go man to man, and you don't go public with this kind of shit. That's what is fucked up, and a lot of people
Do
can't
you
accept.
think? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know the guy.
I don't either, but
The
that's
only
still
thing,
fucked
the
up.
only thing I here's my thing is I saw it and I was like, whoa. I wasn't I honestly wasn't even like you shouldn't have said it. I was like, oh, that was stupid. That's all I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah,
why are they filming? I'm like, ooh, gotta be careful. And also, but also that's Tony's brand is
yeah,
to
roast.
roast and be mean and whatever.
If you
Like,
don't know by now,
I mean,
but
I have I have a respect and a health, but yet a healthy fear. I'd be like, I can't go on that show because I couldn't handle it. I'd be like, I'm just gonna go die quietly in the corner now. But like that is his brand, and so if you're gonna work with them, that's what you signed up for. A little bit. It was just low hanging fruit, and it wasn't funny.
Yes, but it's also just 20 seconds of the whole
But there was also
thing.
banter going. There's other stuff that was said that wasn't included, so it was very taken out of
As
context,
always. As
as
always. This is the
always.
world we live in now.
And but here's the thing: I was like, oh, I said it'll. Everyone lay low. It'll die down because at the end of the day, it is asses and seats. He has built a brand. Someone's gonna. People are still buying Louis C.K. stuff. You know what I mean?
I'll go see Cosby.
You know what I mean? I was saying. I was saying.
Yeah. Would you go see Cosby if he came out?
I mean, if it was a secret speakeasy show,
And nobody would know you were there?
no one would know.
You wouldn't go, come on.
Yeah.
If Cosby came out and said, I've been working on this material while I'm in jail. I can barely see.
I'm dying to know.
I want to know too.
I want to know.
But see, I
But see, I grew up watching.
Me too.
I mean, damn, I was so disappointed. I'm like, why, dude?
Did you watch himself, his special?
No. Here's a special.
Cosby?
Well, no, I watched when I was a little kid. Remember when HBO was new, and like they only had a few things to run, and I felt like they ran that Bill Cosby special where he's talking about feeding his kids cake.
Yes.
And the
that
wife.
is great. They
Yes,
got the chocolate cake.
yes. And
yeah.
he's like, I'm looking at the ingredients. It says eggs,
milk.
milk.
Yes.
So I mean, it's drilled in my head because
Exactly.
it's almost as in there as like Sesame Street because I was so young. My mom didn't watch me, so she let me watch whatever I want, and like I just watched it over and over again, and I really, really laughed. Probably not getting the adult version of what he was saying, but definitely it was reaching all the ages, and so obviously everybody watched
The Cosby Show.
Bill Cosby. I mean, everybody did.
Yeah.
I don't know who, at least in America, who didn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was really disappointing, and I was like, oh man.
Who would you not go see then? Like this, like cross the line, and you're like, this guy, he's dead to me, or this girl's dead to me.
I mean, we all still listen to Michael Jackson.
We're just talking about that on my
Ain't
previous
gonna not,
podcast.
and also,
Uncancelable.
I still listen to Ignition. It's a good song. I'll just
I
roll
do
up the
too.
window. I just roll up the window. I just roll it up.
Look, I know DJs who are like,
like,
I ain't playing R. Kelly. No, yeah, Ignition, the remix is so
But
dope. I
but
believe I
also,
Can Fly is still good.
I would let someone pee on me for a condo. Jesus Christ, those girls are still living in it. The fuck? Oh, where? I live in a condo by myself now.
I can totally separate the
Someone's
art from
gonna
the
hate
artist.
me for that comment.
You'll be fine. Nobody's listening. But I can totally separate.
I can separate.
You can separate. A lot of people can't. So, did you watch the Michael Jackson documentary?
Yeah, I
That came out
had to
last year?
stop after a while. It was like, whoa.
Did you went straight into listening to Thriller after that?
No, but if it came on, I'd still listen to it.
I didn't even bother to
Well,
watch
here's
it.
the thing: is that I blame the parents.
Yes.
Because let's live in a world where we unequivocally, legally can say that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
That is a sickness of a man. He's sick. It's, you know what I mean?
Sure.
That it's a sickness.
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree on that. But it was facilitated by the children's parents because those parents were super fucking happy to travel the world and go on the private jets and get the gifts, and the moms are still talking about it. Like, there's a point where I was like, is this bitch gonna get angry at any point? Because she's like, oh my God, we used to go here. I'm like, are you still bragging about this?
You use your
like,
kids.
Literally, your son's asshole is ripped to shred, but you got to go, you got a gift, you got a fur coat. Like, this is, it's
I sacrificed
really,
so much.
yeah, I mean, yeah. It was really like, where are the parents? I think the parents should be tried. I think the parents,
What's the name of the kid?
it's child endangerment.
Yes.
And there should be whatever that word is where you can get in trouble for shit you did a long time ago. That's what needs to happen.
What's the name of the kid who was one of the two who was the Wade Robson? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
So that guy, nobody knew about him because
Do
he
you
was a
think that's true?
choreographer.
Do you think that's true?
The what?
Do you think it's true that happened to him?
I don't give a shit. Honestly,
Okay.
I still jam. I still play. The
Yeah.
way it make me feel to my son
It's a
doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I really don't. But what I
I
think
never
is,
think about it. Really, I never think about the lyrics.
I mean, it is stalkerish. The video itself
little
is
bit
stalkerish
stalkerish.
as fuck.
Is it?
Yeah, he there's the girl that walks to the
Oh,
street
that's right.
and he gets into the car with her
It's
and
mad
then she gets
rapey.
out.
Yeah, and he's
Yes.
like doing this to her. See, I think that if there was a representation, a music video that represents Austin streets,
Uh-huh.
that would be it.
I'll dance all day and follow a girl in the alley.
No, I was like, because she's like, why are you going? My friend's like, why are you going to open mic? I'm like, I'm walking with these people because I ain't walking by myself anywhere. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
we're going on an adventure.
Look,
We're going to the next place.
I tell you this, Austin with the homeless situation, that's some
It's
thriller
out of
vibes.
control, y'all.
There's some thriller shit going on. I'm telling you, it's like darkness falls across the land, and it's just like,
no,
oh, do you have $1?
no, it's
pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
and it's also weird because I was some not all male comics are horrible. Some are very very sweet.
Case in point.
Some of them are very sweet, but because I get really like I'm very on edge. I understand why people have guns here, and
Without a permit now, actually.
you don't have to permit.
No, they just signed the law. The governor just signed a thing where you don't need a license for open carry.
Matthew McConaughey, where are you?
He's the minister of culture, whatever the fuck that means.
What does that mean?
Nothing. It doesn't mean shit. He gets to play. So we have a stadium now right up the street, and then
Did
he
he do
was
it for
playing the
tickets?
bongo.
He did it for tickets. He did.
Nah,
He did it for the good parking.
He's more of a representation of Austin, but he doesn't. I don't think he does anything. He just comes out at ACL, goes all right, and then just goes away.
I wish he was our mayor.
Really?
He's hot.
All right, we'll have to. Okay, you have to unpack that because do you trust people because they're hot?
No, but it's easier to tolerate.
Oh, because watching an ugly person do a good job is tough. Ron Jeremy had a career.
Ron Jeremy could suck his own dick.
What?
He could. That fat bastard could suck his own dick.
He had his ribs removed? He has
No.
one of those things?
No. Oh, you asked me who would I not listen to?
Uh-huh.
I'm very sad I can no longer listen to Marilyn Manson.
Oh, I never listened
That
to
is
begin with. Why? But he
because
could suck his own dick. That was the thing.
Yeah, because he electrocuted women and burned them and it wasn't like they're into kinky play. Like they said stop, and he kept
Oh, it wasn't
doing
consensual?
it. Oh,
Is he in jail or something?
he should be.
I wonder what he looks like now, though, because I always remember him with the weird shit.
If you look at he did a bunch of guest spots on Sons of Anarchy.
I don't even watch that show either.
Makeup on looks very.
Does he
Yeah,
look
I mean,
weird
it's
without the
really.
makeup?
I mean, he doesn't real. I don't. He even without the makeup, he doesn't blend. He's like 1,000,000 feet tall.
I can't even name a single song by Marilyn Manson.
Really?
What? You,
Shocking.
what?
What?
I don't. It's not my shit. It's not my shit. I grew up on hip hop and reggae and dancehall. But
I mean, I'm totally Stacy's mom, so here's my shit.
I totally judged you just now.
Yeah,
Just like you
I'm
just
such a
did a
Stacy's
minute
mom.
ago.
I'm such a Stacy's mom.
I can't.
I loved that shit when I was younger. Yeah, I won't listen. I can't. It's too
R.
too,
Kelly is
it's
okay.
too brutal.
But Marilyn Manson crosses the line.
Well, he didn't burn them. He didn't electrocute them. He didn't tie anybody up. And
Was his girlfriend? Or was it like a bunch of girls trapped in his house?
There were girls that he was dating, and he kind of had a little bit of Stockholm syndrome going on, where everyone's like, "Why didn't you leave?" Well, when you're in a situation like that, it's complicated. And he for kicks he took the rough, playing a little too much, and he would electrocute genitals and burn the girls.
Okay.
And
What if it was hot?
What?
What if Marilyn Manson was actually hot, like 50 Shades of Grey type shit?
I can't.
Isn't that what the movie's about?
It is, but it's consensual. There are people.
I'm sure he did some shit she wasn't comfortable with the first time. This is the whole point of the story, isn't it?
Of submitting. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to hang you by your skin at some point, but you have to work your way up to that. And I'm going to show you.
I mean, there's levels. There's levels.
Yeah.
There's levels. I mean, my safe word is definitely fucking stop.
Okay.
That's my safe word. Yeah, when you have to, when you, I mean, I do, because I do know people that, you know, uh, or dominatrix. I do know people that are people that they like, that submissive thing. Uh, but the whole idea is it's a trust thing.
Sure.
So when you violate that trust and just do whatever you want, it turns into abuse. So, and I think at any point, cutting and burning and electrocution
Mm-hmm.
to where you're searing skin. I mean, that's just, there's nothing sexy about that. And
I mean, some guys
that's
like to get their balls crushed. I mean, I'm curious. What's more fascinating to me? But don't get me wrong. It is fucked
it's
up.
fucked up.
It is.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Let me
No, for every
establish
girl,
that.
for every woman's like, I don't like that. There's probably one like, yeah, I love it. There's
You're
that
right.
one, but he didn't find the one. He instead brainwashed
Yes, but like,
these women.
how do you get to that point? Like, I'm always curious. 'Cause fetishes are a thing. I get that, but how do you? Okay, from now on, I need to dress like a baby, otherwise I can't come. And like,
Yeah.
how do you discover that? Because here's the thing, and this is just a theory out of my ass. I didn't do any studies
Okay.
or nothing, right?
Okay. I'm
I
ready.
do think that, well, of course, there's the first time, but that first time is somebody introduces you to it. So it's like a chicken or the egg type shit. Like who was the first person to be like, hey, you know what? I'd like to get
It's
beat up with
usually.
a.
I mean, it's usually something they experience in childhood. It's usually goes back to your
I always want
childhood.
to
It
dress like a
usually,
furry. It's because I like Bambi. Is it the?
maybe. Okay, so furry. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist,
We're just
but
shooting the shit.
but
This is not
it
research at
could
all, folks.
be. Well, it's me talking around my ass. Well, I was a psych major for 1 year before I dropped out of school. I feel like perhaps a furry could be there was some trauma as a child, and a lot of people don't know this. Children masturbate. It's a very normal thing. Children are very sexual. They just don't really. It's just not. It's not dirty until someone tells them it is, type of thing.
Right.
Perhaps for comfort, they rubbed up on their stuffed animal, and then now as an adult, when stressed or needing comfort,
They dress like a rabbit.
or they either need someone to, or they need to dress like the rabbit. Sure, because so if they need someone to dress like the rabbit, then
Uh-huh.
I would say they're seeking the comfort from
Uh-huh.
the rabbit, like the stuffed animal, like they did when they were a kid. But if they are dressing, what am I saying? So if they are,
If they need somebody to dress like a rabbit, or they themselves dress like one.
yeah, but there's different things. I would say like if they're the top on the rabbit, then I would say maybe
The
it's
wolf? I
their
don't know.
no, like okay, let's say
I don't know
there's a
anything about
there's
furs.
so for sex, no, for sex in general, there's
Talking to the
the top
top
and the
of the mic.
bottom, top and the bottom, the humpy and the humper. So if you are the humpy,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe you are seeking comfort, and if you are humping, then maybe like if you're humping the person dressed as a furry, then maybe you're trying to assert dominance over a situation. So when you were a little kid, something weird happened, and so it made you feel unsafe, and
Mm-hmm.
that's your way of controlling.
Or you just wanted to fuck a squirrel, and then you
I mean, who
figure
doesn't
this
want to
on
fuck
you.
a squirrel? They're always like with their little
Look at the little,
tails.
yeah, little fluffy tail,
They're
just
like,
running around.
yeah, they're just got
And
fucking.
this
It's like, look at
top.
all these nuts I can put in my mouth. Yeah, squirrels are whores, and clearly they ask
And
for
they
it.
tease you to just look at you,
Yeah, and then
eat,
they,
and then look at you,
they look at and then
and then
they
eat.
they swish that tail.
Yes. Yes.
I want squirrels to have like a really flamboyant, like I don't know, from another country accent. It's like, you know what I mean?
Well,
It's
okay,
like,
well,
we're just with the
yes,
thing.
yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? Like, do you like an enemy?
If
Yeah, I want it
squirrel,
to be like really like you can't look at me. I don't know. I just want the squirrels to be just very like.
what ethnicity or nationality would a squirrel be? Would it like a total bitch attitude? Italian? No, not Italian.
Maybe no, because I feel like it. I feel like I'm like.
I would say it'd be like it's more like maybe southern, like Brazilian, like
Yeah,
South America.
something really fiery. Like, don't fuck with me.
Yes.
Like, I'll cut you and you're gonna like it.
Yes. I totally. Yes, I think you nailed it. Squirrels are like a,
Come
like
to
a
me for
sassy
your
Latina.
come to me for your taglines and your small fee. I'll come up with your
This is what I love.
your brand for you.
So if you don't want to fuck a squirrel,
Yeah. You know,
think of it
just
like,
know that they ask for it.
yeah, and
They
then
want it.
the same way you approach a Latino.
With caution. With caution.
Wait, what are you?
You're
ambiguous.
That's a very good question. That I know of.
That you know of?
That I know of. I could. There
Do you
could
have,
be,
like,
there could
20
be there could be
ethnicities?
more in there. So my mom is Mexican, Spanish, Apache.
Apache?
Yeah.
Like 23andMe, 1% Apache, or actually there's people that you know?
My grandparents are Mexican and Apache.
Okay.
Both of them. Or were. They're passed now. And then my dad is Mexican and Korean. That's it.
Man, that's a mix.
Yeah. That I know of. Who knows? There could be something else in there.
You ever tried?
'Cause-
You want
'cause
to try the 23andMe shit?
No.
Why? What if you find out you were like 5%
What
Zimbabwean?
do I do with that?
Doesn't matter. Just put in like, if you wanted to trace it back. I'm not saying you're gonna go on a quest to Africa to find out.
Well, aren't,
Like, you're gonna show up.
supposedly aren't we all from Africa?
Yeah, some people still deny that shit. I'm 100% African, so I'm like, if you tell me you're 1%,
Aren't we all from Africa?
yeah, we are.
So what I need a 23andMe for that shit?
No, but I mean, there's some other shit. I mean,
I want to
we're
know
all-
specifically what kind of African. I have a
Yes.
question.
Uh-huh.
So do you get upset? I had a friend from the Virgin Islands, and I would get upset for her, and she goes, "You just let it go after a while."
Mm-hmm.
But people just say African American when you're black,
yeah.
and it's like,
Technically, I am,
like
but I put a pause between the two words
you are
because I'm African and I became American.
Yeah, but what?
But
What
I'm
about,
not- I'm
what
not-
about all those people that aren't like? They're. I mean, I guess we all come from Africa, but like, again, I shot myself in the foot
No,
with my
but
own
some
thing.
people won't-
but
don't
but
wanna
at the
take
same
that.
time, it's like, what if they're not African American? What if they're just black from another place? Then you're messing.
Like Cuban or Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Dominican, or you know what I mean? Like, it's like
she
I think it's
wouldn't
really
care?
fucked up.
Well, I don't even say I'm African American. I mean, that's what I check. Actually, on every form it says African American black. So it's not even
You're like, but
Afri-
I identify as Irish.
Yes, I mean, okay. Because when I check it, I don't check African American. I'm checking for the black part. Because I am black, and it's like I don't even introduce myself. I don't consider myself African American. I'm African that became American. I mean, I did the test. I did all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And it was easy as hell. And when was that? 10, 11 years ago?
Huh.
But
Because came back African. Woo, big surprise.
yeah, whoa. I know how many years the senator is elected for. Here, you're American now.
Yeah.
Great.
There's nothing else in there.
Do what?
You're just African.
I'm just African. I can trace my
Like
lineage.
from different places in Africa, or like
Yeah, okay.
inbred
Do you want to be
African?
technical? Okay.
Because you know, like when you get an Irish bitch, and like she can't be too Irish. 'Cause that means
Not because when you tell somebody they're Indian, they'll go,
Well,
well,
no,
no,
like,
because there's this different
I'm-
regions within India that they're like don't
yeah,
fuck
well,
with each other
I'm
and shit.
indigenous.
Indigenous
to here,
to what?
to America, like to Texas. Like
I mean, you were
Apache.
born here.
I'm Apache. No, my ancestry.
Oh, okay.
My like yeah.
Okay,
So when someone says you're Indian, when
Oh.
I'm one of those weird people that go, no, I'm indigenous or I'm native. Because Indian to me, like my best friend, she is British and Indian, like
From
she's-
Orthodox India.
Yeah, she's you're the worst. You're the fucking worst. But
Yeah. So
you get me
Or
in
you
more.
Orthodox-
Don't get me in more trouble with this bitch. Oh my god.
Hey, differentiate them that way.
Lord
no, but
Jesus.
I am from Senegal, but my family is from Guinea, which is right next door.
Okay.
And I was saying, actually, I forgot I was talking to, but like, there's only one. My last name is only one in the world.
What?
Yeah. And so,
You're like a unicorn,
yeah, I'm a Princess
but a
Zamunda.
black one.
Watch that. uh, no, but it's true. Like, there's a village in Guinea
Okay.
that my uncle goes to, and it's like, yeah, we can trace you back to this area, and there's land and everything. And even my dad was telling
Are
me
you a
that we
prince?
own what?
Are you a prince?
Technically, I am.
Oh, lovely.
Why you
Look at
smell like me like that?
Look at you.
I am. I came to America to
Now
find
that
a
you
wife.
know, that's what I was thinking about.
I
Whenever
came
he
to
screams
Austin
at,
to
he's like,
find a wife.
he's like, "Fuck you, fuck you
Fuck you too."
It's like the best. I think about that scene way often than I should. It's amazing the things that like useless information. No, dumb things on a loop.
Yes.
80 songs in the
Yes,
head.
yes.
It's in the noggin.
Yes.
It's right there. It's
Comedian
right there.
quotes. I talk in Chris Rock jokes, pretty much.
I love Cat Williams. Sometimes I wish that he were
Really?
my friend. No, the one specifically the green outfit, the Pimp,
Pimp
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Yes, when he was in the green outfit,
Yes.
just sweating like a motherfucker all over
Yes.
stage. Some of the stuff he says, it's a steam about your motherfucking self. I'm like, I give myself that pep talk all the time. Like, yeah, it's me.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
quotables.
but
I'm not a big
there's
Cat
like
Williams
so
fan.
many. No, but as a woman,
Uh-huh.
I was like, I want you to be my best friend because I need. When he's like talking about like like no one cares about your toes, no one cares about your stretch marks, all that stuff. Like I was just like, oh, I wish he was my friend so he could be like, yes, silly
You don't know
bitch.
anybody with that kind of energy?
I mean, my gays do that to me. But
Okay,
but now
I would assume
now
that.
they have started telling me the truth.
What truth? What did Ed know that we don't know?
No. So here's the thing. Like in Los Angeles,
Uh-huh.
pretty girls have a legion of gays, and usually the more
It
you
just
have,
it just comes with it.
yeah. I mean, it's standard issue. They have a white little dog and a bunch of really cute gays, and they tell you what to do, and they guide you through your life. Or at least mine do. And they used to tell me I was right. You're right. You're pretty. And now they just tell me the truth. Like you're just like,
Oh, you cunt. You don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. I was like, okay. The last brunch. I'm like, this is the last brunch I come to with you guys. Now you're just mean.
How long did that process take?
Oh, decades.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've known some for decades.
Yeah.
Like they know everything about you.
Oh,
you know
everything
about them.
They've gone through. I mean, gosh, do I know some through all my husbands? I do.
Wait, what?
I have some that have been through all three of my husbands.
Wow.
Boyfriends,
friendship.
dogs.
They know everything.
They know too much.
Don't run for office or anything, because
Oh, I can-
hang you. Don't cross them either.
Never.
Don't
Oh,
ever cross 'em.
never.
They will hang you out. That bitch Rachel thinks she cute.
Oh, never, never. You know what's funny is my last husband. I sent the memo out like if you're his friend, continue to be his friend. Don't treat him any differently because he's Australian, so it's very far away from home, and I would hate for him to feel like he has no one. So we're cool. We're just not going to be in the same house or anything anymore. And so, I mean, I said it, but not that I didn't mean it, but I didn't think it was going to happen. Like he took my gays. I lost my gays in the divorce. He hangs out with them more. He has sole custody. I just get visitation rights now.
Are you serious?
I'm dead fucking serious.
Well, fuck your gays then. It's on them, not on
Dead
him.
serious. And they're like,
Where's
they're
their
like,
loyalty?
They're like, this is okay, right? Well, I mean, who doesn't like Australians? It's really unfair. The sun
My brother lives there.
The sun just shines right out of their ass. I mean, they're just like,
Have you gone there?
yeah, a lot. I love it.
So what struck you about it? I never been. My little brother
They're
got up
fucking
and left and
happy
said,
all the goddamn time, first of all.
Really?
All the time.
Is that annoying though?
Yeah.
That's got to be annoying.
It's like, dude, where's the off switch? Come on, man. Like, you're not happy all. It's the sun, I think. They're like solar powered or something. They're just like, they're fucking happy. Like, they're happy as shit all the time.
Are they? Is it diverse? Because my brother told me, he's like, look, everywhere I go,
Yeah.
everybody think I'm Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. If you went to Sydney, you'd be like a fucking rock star.
African American.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he wasn't my first Australian. I dated this guy. I mean, he did well for himself. He was like on the cover of GQ for a thing.
Yeah, he's pretty
But
boy.
I couldn't. There's
Good to look
some
at.
shit I couldn't handle because where he lives, I
Hmm.
guess that they didn't have our version of black people where they're like, because there's Aboriginal, which
Yeah.
is it's very
Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah,
I was really hoping that it wasn't. I'm like, you guys are racist, and I get there, I'm like, damn, this is disappointing.
yeah.
Guys want to work on the brand, Aboriginals. You're not representing yourselves very well. A lot of you. But the kind like, like the, just the wealth and the famous black people that we have, that's what they see on television.
Hmm.
So then when they come and in LA, it's just like,
Yeah, it was just
it's
another
a
one.
diamond. They're all over the place. Yeah, you
You know
know.
what?
So for him, we'd go to dinner and he'd just be like smiling. I'm like, take that stupid smile off your face. It's like he's seeing a Beatle or something, like a member of the Beatles. And like, dude, it's just an average person that dresses well. Can you please stop?
You know,
He was very excited. And he's like, I just couldn't stop looking. He couldn't stop staring. And I'm like, you have to stop staring, or you have to explain yourself that you're a weirdo that has never seen a black person up close. Like, maybe they'll understand, but you're gonna get us in a fight. Like, you can't stare at people. He's literally like,
can I touch your hair?
no, oh my God, no, I would never let him. I'm like, this guy's gonna think you want, the guy probably thought that he's a weird white guy that wants like him to like
Yeah, yeah,
fuck me
yeah.
so he can watch, because that's the look he was giving him. I'm like, can you please stop this? Please stop staring. Gotta stop staring.
You know, when I've told this, I think I have on this podcast. Anyway, when I go to France, I speak English.
Because it gets you laid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, not necessarily, but I get treated better because otherwise I'm just another African over there. But when I speak English, I'm African American. So
Oh, really?
Diddy's my best friend,
Ah.
and I know,
They assume
DJ Khaled
they assume you know all famous black people.
pretty much.
Oh.
And I've gotten to so many clubs by myself, just by pretending.
I mean, that's when I went to Australia, because I act. Everyone assumed that I knew. Well, I do know a lot of people, but like, it's weird because to talk about who you see and who you know in LA.
Isn't that
pretty
what
much
it is? That's everywhere, right?
No, you don't do that.
Wait, hold on.
You don't do that.
Yeah, you
Unless
do.
you're a psychopath. Nobody goes, oh my God, I went to. No. If
I
you're.
thought people name dropped all the time in LA, and everybody's inspiring something. At least that's a
yeah,
stigma,
but if you're name dropping, then that means you don't really got it like that.
right?
Because then you, like, who are you hanging out with that you need to name drop the first and last name? You know what I mean? It's just really weird. Whenever I would go to Australia, they really like it. They're like, tell me this. I'm like, to me, it's like, I don't know, I can't do it. I'm just like, I have to go.
Well, let me ask
It's
you this.
really, really super uncomfortable.
Would they have like outdated references, like bring out like celebrities that nobody gives a shit no more about?
Oh, they care.
Or they're actually up to
But
date on
it's
everything
a
that's
weird
happening.
thing because they don't
Keep the
care.
mic in your face.
They act like they don't care,
Uh-huh.
but then they care. Like someone from Sydney would never ask these questions, but
Uh-huh.
like a smaller town, they're dying to know. They love it. They want to know all your stories, all your adventures, and I'm like, I can't.
Like, oh, do you know Carmen Electra?
Buy the book, bitch.
Who's the most famous person you ever run into in LA?
Myself. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. You're fucking not.
I realized as I said that was a
You
stupid
are
joke.
not. Yeah, people are pathetic.
It's like, that wasn't even a good joke, Rachel. I was like really sad. I'm sad for you right now. This makes me sad for you.
So would you like, I mean, at this point you've been on so many shows and cover magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah, but to me it was just work. It is just work. It's like
I know when people recognize you.
And also I haven't like acted in a while. You know what I mean? I'm really taking a hit doing this comedy thing. But like when I was working all the time, it wasn't, I mean, there's a very niche character that I played, it's pretty girl type thing. I did Playboy, I did Maxim, I did those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really well with it. I really wish I had been taking the time I wish I was as careful with my brand back then as I am with it now, because I might have had more opportunities to play roles that I really did want to play and do have the ability to play. But you know, I'm always losing out to someone that's known for being more serious. So it's really I'm very careful with my brand now.
Because you control it as a comedian now, right? Is that?
I am way more. Well, this is the only job that I've pursued where I'm not chasing money and I'm not chasing fame and I'm not. Well, I've never chased fame. But I don't know the outcome. The only thing I can do is do the work, and I do work like a beast. So, and that doesn't even mean I'm so good. It just means I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I don't believe that it takes after 10 years something magical happens and the sky opens up and Jesus smiles upon you and then you're funny. No, I think it's every person has a different upbringing, has a different perspective on life, and it is are you able to take the thoughts and things that have happened to you and your perspective and convey them in a way to not just comics, but the average person so that they can connect with you and also find it funny. And it's not necessarily about, you know, we can all do the cheap jokes.
Yeah,
we can all do we all have them. We all have them. Because
Sure.
it's like, I need a laugh. I'm fucking help me. And you do the cheap joke or whatever. And that's fine. And actually, I think there is a place for that. I think, especially right now with everything going on, people, you know, they don't want to think too hard. Just fucking I just want to laugh at anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want a political joke. I don't want a thinker. I just give me a fart. Just give me a fart joke somewhere in the world.
Do that.
So
put the mic to your butt and just let one rip.
No, it's just like
that would be so unexpected.
It's not
so
really
funny.
my brand, but like somewhere in the world, someone's like, you know what, that was funny, and I needed that. You know what I mean? And so that's why I also don't like when, we've all done it. We're like, that person's not funny. I don't. The correct sentence says I don't find that person funny. It's not my brand of humor that I find funny. It doesn't mean they're not funny. They're funny to someone.
Yeah, exactly. See,
that happens a lot. Especially, you know, a female comic. Girls aren't funny. I'm like, not to you probably because you're a misogynistic asshole. Of course they're not funny to you. All you care about is your own dick. You think your dick is hilarious, as we have seen from the many ways that you have mimed using it on this stage. However, will I catch your attention without my imaginary dick? So it's just like, you know, not to say that I don't laugh at dick jokes. Of course I laugh at dick jokes. I think they're hilarious, but I do get bored. Also, you know, endless open mics of men that think they have reinvented the wheel talking about oh my God, you're depressed. Dude, all comics, men and women, your depression does not make you special. We all have it.
You know,
get over yourselves.
It's really
we all have it.
Do
something fun with it.
What you said about, you know, basically uniqueness is like pretty much verbatim what I told. I'm about to name drop.
It's pretty hard to have uniqueness when it comes to being sad.
I'm gonna name drop because I had this conversation with Sean Patton.
Okay.
And I was like,
I'm gonna stop you. How was that?
What?
That fucking interview, and where did you get that? I used to interview celebrities on the red carpet, and I would have died to have Sean Penn.
He came and did a podcast too.
Here.
No, I went to his hotel room because he couldn't.
Did he Me Too you? Say yes.
Huh?
Did he Me Too you?
Did he Me Too me?
I'm joking. Yeah.
No, it was great. It was great.
You would have been flattered, though. You would have been flattered.
If he Me Too'd me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have taken it.
You would have been like bragging rights.
It's fucking Sean Patton.
It's fucking Sean Penn.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He sucked a dick before. He told me.
He did? Like just the tip?
No. He got his dick sucked. It was always like, and
just to see.
No, just to see. He's like, not for me. I'm good.
Well, at least he tried it.
Hey, can't knock it
till you
It's like
try
spinach.
it.
You just got.
So now his kids, he's like, you have to eat your vegetables. I hate them. You gotta try them.
Yeah. He's like, yep, I know.
He walks the walk.
He got so drunk. It was, but anyway, we had this conversation that said, you know, and I was like, how would you define your not like what's your style of comedy, like the philosophy around what you do? And he said, I talk about my insecurities to make people feel okay with their own.
Yeah.
And then he went on the whole thing. And I'm like, that's beautiful. And he asked me, and I'm only like a year and a half in. I'm not, but I'm a nerd, and I've actually, I don't say I'm a student of it, if you will.
Yeah.
And I said,
as we all should be.
yes. And
I think at any level you're always learning. And the
Yes.
second you say you're done learning,
no, you always go to bed less stupid.
What?
That should be a
Yeah.
goal every day.
yeah,
And I said, I really believe that everybody has a story to tell. Some people's stories are more interesting than others, and those are the ones we listen to the most. But at the end of the day, there's something about you that makes you you. It's not necessarily apparent at first. Sometimes you have to dig. Sometimes you have to figure out what it is.
yeah,
But I think that if you can find the funny and the uniqueness, and like you said, help people get feel comfortable and find their own,
yeah.
and make it
Yeah.
funny in the process, then that's all you need to do.
I mean, even observational, like Seinfeld talks about the most basic shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's the way he speaks, his cadence. I'm very jealous of his vocabulary. I need more words in my life because
You ever listen to
I
Miller?
use shit fuck as a word. I had my Texas shows and I cuss a lot, so I really need to stop doing that. But
Did you listen to Dennis Miller when he used to go on these rants?
I can't remember any of them, but I'm sure.
But
I've
like
seen
he
them.
had, like, he would use words that you like, how the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Like crazy lexicon.
Bill
this
Maher
guy.
as well. He has
Yeah.
really great vocabulary.
But what fascinating to me is when you take a premise and you squeeze everything out of it, trying to get to the point where there's nothing
I'm a
else you
female
can squeeze.
comic. I'm all premise. Yeah.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
I think. This is gonna sound.
I don't wanna get
I'm a
into
traitor
your-
to my sex
Hold on,
right
hold on,
now,
Rachel.
but I feel like it is not true that we do sometimes have trouble getting to the point.
Talk too much.
There's like a long thing, and then 3 days later, and that's why I can't eat cheese.
Okay, yeah, I totally see that.
You know,
It's not for everybody.
No.
It's like animal porn. It's not for
Yeah.
everybody.
Not for everyone.
No.
Just a small sum,
But some
yeah.
people like it. I couldn't believe that people like Larry the Cable Guy for years. I'm like, oh,
I love Larry the Cable Guy.
hey, whatever makes you happy. I'm not.
You know,
fucking-
okay, so I'm gonna name drop now. I went to.
What's his safe word? Not playing.
I went to. So I did a few music videos for Kid Rock, and we're still friends, even though he's gone a little crazy.
He says stupid shit
He
on
says
stage.
some shit that I'm like, Lord, please stop talking.
Hey,
Free
consequences.
speech, free speech,
Free speech, but
Free
consequences too.
Yeah, my
That's
good
what
Lord.
happens.
But so I went to the Country Music Awards, and I was having a grand old time, and they were over, and there's an after party, whatever, and I see Larry the Cable Guy. Now I don't know who this man is because at the time I was young, I was doing stuff. I don't even think I owned a TV because I was never home to watch TV. I didn't watch TV then, and I don't know who the fuck he was. I just thought he was one of Bobby's country friends. And yeah, and he was I'm a girl and I'm young and I'm laughing. I will laugh at anything.
Wait, he did a set and you laugh? Is that what
I
you're
was
saying?
practicing his bit on me for the whole night. And
He did?
Yes, and I laughed, and I was laughing my head off. I'd never heard him before,
This
and
is
he
my
loved
husband's
me.
face.
He loved
Of
me.
course he
He
did.
was like, this chick
What? Okay,
thinks
okay.
I'm hilarious.
Don't
And
be-
then my stupid ass said, "Oh my God, you're so funny. You should be a comedian." And he was like, "She thinks I should be a comedian." Everybody laughed, and I had no idea why because I didn't know who he was.
And this is at the height of the blue collar comedy. I would assume if he was at
I
the
don't-
CMAs.
He was dressed in his little getup, so yeah. Yeah, he doesn't dress like that, obviously. We're not working. Yeah,
Dan
I
Whitney.
didn't know who he was. And,
You know, he used to do comedy in Suits, and then he started this character, Larry the Cable Guy, and that's
It's
what
great,
got
though.
him in. Hey, whatever works.
I often
I will never. Look, if your character, if you become your character, like a dice clay
God, I
or
hope
whatever,
I don't become my character.
I'm just saying.
My
if it
character is a real
works-
bitch.
If it works, it works. Like
Yeah.
I you can shit on it all day, but you can't deny that if something works, it works.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not necessarily for
I mean,
everybody.
that's interesting. Like as as a female
Stop
comic.
saying that.
No, you have to understand though. We're told
Who's told?
everybody has an opinion
Yes.
what you should do and what you should say, and what you shouldn't say, what you should wear, and what you shouldn't wear. And I've just you've after a while you go just fuck off.
I just don't like disclaimers.
But it's as a new comic, I definitely we see things. And I've been friends with lots of very established comics over for decades, friends with them, and so I've gone to a lot of shows, obviously. So you kind of always we emulate what we see. I think it's pretty normal.
True. I see that.
If you're saying if you're a comic and you're saying I don't, you're a liar. But as a woman, like I definitely tried on a few, like how the sentences have always been the same, but I've definitely tried on different ways to present it.
You tried the Joan Rivers way. You tried the Roseanne way.
I tried.
You tried the Amy Schumer way.
Well, I was told very early on to do everything I can to not be pretty. Don't let anyone ever. Basically, I'm supposed to take everything I've ever done and hope nobody finds out, because then they'll judge me. I'm supposed to be, not make people feel uncomfortable. I'm not supposed to. It's better if I dress down, put my hair back, wear glasses, hide everything, because women are. This is what I was told. Women will be uncomfortable and they're on dates, and you will make them feel bad about themselves, and then they won't laugh, and then their dates won't laugh. So I'm just like, so basically I'm to assume that my audience is a bunch of insecure bitches. I don't think so. I think that's very insulting to them. But I did try it. I tried to not be myself.
What'd you do? Come up in sweatpants and...
Yeah, flat shoes, no heels, like...
No makeup.
No makeup.
Ponytail,
glasses, like a pin cushion. And I try to do the neurotic thing. I try to do my life sucks thing. I try to do the self-deprecating thing. It doesn't work for me. Really doesn't work for me.
The whole point is
because it's not. I don't even know if it's the. And these are all definitely things that I have felt. But the presentation of how I was presenting, how I was talking, it really wasn't me. And I was just like, I'm a nice person, but I am kind of cunty. So I'm just gonna be me, and that works way better. And women love me. I have chicks dig me. Feel safe bringing your date around me. It doesn't matter what I say, they will laugh. They'll probably laugh at you, but we're all laughing together, and it works. And I definitely, there are some things that I definitely don't do. Like the other night, I made a joke. I don't wear my tits on stage. Never. You never wear your tits on stage. So you're established, then you may wear your tits on stage. For me, I've definitely worn like my friend said I dress like Steve Jobs. He's like, what's with your Steve Jobs outfit? Because I have like a black turtleneck and black pants and black boots. And he's like, what is this? No belt. I look like a talk between like Steve Jobs and like maybe a Russian spy. I don't know.
That's
curvy, but you'll never see like cleavage on me on stage, just because maybe it's because what people were saying really did sink in, or maybe it's because I'm tired of people that's what I mean, that's what used to sell stuff, and maybe I'm tired of it. Maybe that's it too. But it makes me uncomfortable, so I just don't do it. I'm much more comfortable, but I also don't want to I don't want to dress like a toddler or a rodeo clown.
Right, but you're doing it because you want to be comfortable, but also
like I'm comfortable in a tank top, but I would never wear a tank top on stage.
Yeah, but you're not doing it because people will find it distracting.
I think they do. I also don't like. I have a really. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't like being called. I find it very insulting when another comic, male or female, calls me hot. in the description as they're announcing me, or when they're saying, "Oh, you should have her in your show. She's hot." I really fucking hate it. I find it incredibly insulting.
Because that assumes that that's all you have. That's all you have to
It's
offer.
not even pretty. It's not pretty. It's not beautiful. It's hot. There's levels to that. Hot to me means skank. I don't know what it is. I just
Really?
don't like it. Because I've been called it so many times, and I don't like
It's
it.
triggering now.
It's very triggering. I don't know. It really pisses me off.
The gays can get away with it.
Huh?
The gays can get away
The
with it.
gays can get away with it. I would be sad if you didn't call me hot. We ain't even pretty anymore. But I really don't. I don't like being called hot. And ladies and gentlemen, and she's hot. Fuck you.
Okay.
I don't go, "You're a fat fuck. Hey, there's a fat fuck coming on stage. Put it together for this fat fuck." Never in life. Never in life would I do that.
What's stopping you from doing that?
Look at this ugly
Just like Tony
motherfucker.
did.
There's an ugly mother. She's so fucking fat. The fattest fuck I've ever seen is coming on stage. You'll never see enough fatter fuck. Never. Never would I say that.
If someone says, "Hey, there's a black guy coming on
He's
stage,"
the blackest guy I've ever seen.
I'd be like, "This is me. Nice to meet y'all. My name is Back."
Like, we're going
And
to need
that's
some
it.
more lights up in here because he's the blackest guy I've ever seen in my life. That's weird. It's a weird description.
It's factual.
It's stupid. You're funny. You should be funny.
Yes. Okay.
You should be brilliant. You should be.
Well, and that's still flowers before you even go on stage.
I like what you like.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like you got to be.
Witty. There's many. As a comic, there are now, mind you, I used to do appearances when I did Playboy, when I did Maximize and stuff, and we announced me. Yes, obviously I'm hot because that's my job description for the day. I'm hot.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk into a microphone and obtain attention from people. Don't call me hot. But it's also, that's very subjective. There's many people that
Like
don't find
anything.
me hot.
Yeah, but
They're like, "Bitch
anything.
ain't all that." You know, there's lots of people who don't find me hot.
If they called you pretty. Oh, the very beautiful Rachel Sterling, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's lazy host.
It's lazy host. If they add an
Lazy
adjective,
ass host.
if they add an adjective to your
Lazy.
name
Call
to
me fun.
introduce you.
Why can't I be witty? Why can't I be funny?
No, you can. I'm not saying you could. You can. The very funny, hot.
Or she got a big mouth on her. This one, I'll take that one. The mouth on this bitch. Oh my God! I apologize in advance.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the cleavage on stage.
Yeah, it's just really insulting. I don't like it. I really don't like it.
I'm not trying to make you like it. I'm just. This
I'll
is
never
interesting.
like it. I find it very insulting.
It's always been weird to me when they go, "The very funny," and I'm like,
Bitch, you don't know me. No,
"Yes, no, really." It's
well,
like,
obviously
you
you're
don't know
funny or
that?
you wouldn't be here.
No, I'm not just. I'm talking about an open mic.
Oh, no.
But like, if it's like the first time I show up and they introduce me as such, I'm like, I don't know you. Like they don't know me. Let me say that. Let me do my thing, and then you can judge that.
What's your also? Here's another arrogant way of looking at it. Like I know, like
I'm a humble man.
don't need to be told I'm hot one more time. I'm good. Like I don't.
Look, I'm told I'm black every day.
Yeah, it's like.
I get the joke.
Like,
it's not even a joke.
You're like,
It's-
I know.
It's like fucking change the disc already. It's the same shit over and over again. I get it.
Yeah. So on an
I have a
arrogant.
dick. Whoop to do.
Yeah. It's like you don't need to tell me I'm hot. I've spent a decade people doing it. I don't really need. I need to be told. My ego doesn't need to be told I'm hot. My ego needs to be told I'm funny. My ego would love to be told I'm smart. My ego would love to be told I'm witty. My ego would love to be told, I'll take bitchy. That's fine too. I don't give a fuck. It's the
Ladies and
truth.
gentlemen, the
It's
bitchy
the
ass
truth.
Rachel.
It's the truth. It's a in the wheelhouse.
Well, you gotta have a strong skin in this
You know
business
what I mean?
anyway.
Like, but just hot is just like, come on, man. I don't know.
Stating the obvious.
Where I need to have a comeback for that is what I need to do. I need to have like a.
You don't have one?
I don't.
This should be your first joke when you get on stage. Like, give it up for this
lazy ass
this
motherfucker.
slob motherfucker that just left. Like, just roast the guy.
I should come up with a good roast.
Yeah. Do you know girls who actually like put up with this shit? Like they get introduced and then
Oh, I had a woman, and the thing is, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it to like fuck me up. She didn't mean it. She thought she was. she was an older woman. We were doing a show at the Comedy Store. And it was my first time at the Comedy Store. And I wasn't nervous. I was just really excited. And I had a lot of people in the audience. And I'd never had my friends like come see me, you know, at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, big deal.
Is my debut. And
what?
My debut. And
Ton début.
And I just didn't picture that was what was going to come out of her mouth. And she said I did Playboy.
Oh, that was your credit?
Dude, well, no, I have lots of credits to say, but she like, I actually she asked if she could, I worked with her at a mic. She was hosting at a mic too a while ago. And she said, and I said, please never say that because it throws me off. I have a certain personality that I turn into when I have to be a playmate because that's the gig. This isn't that gig. And I use a whole different side of my brain that's not that. So could you not do that? It fucks me up. And also, I don't want people, because that's all they're thinking of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It plants a seed and the whole set is off because that's all they're thinking about.
Yeah, and I don't talk about being a playmate. I don't talk about, you know what I mean? Like, it's not what my comedy is about. So I just I don't do dumb bitch humor. You know, like, you know, I don't do it.
You tried that, it didn't work.
I'll make fun of girls just because I feel like I can make fun of it because I used to be that. I used to be that dumb. So I mean, life is so good.
Yeah, you told Larry the Cable Guy to start comedy.
Dude, life was so good when I was stupid. God, the bliss. Just it was easy. I lived in a world of yes. I didn't really think about things. People probably said horrible things at me. I was like, I'm so happy. It's like an Australian. But yeah, and now I don't. I'm just in a.
How did the set go?
Phase. She fucked me. It went great. It went great. I mean, I was just like, I was throwing daggers at her while I was smiling, like, because I think she said it and was like, oops. She introduced me and she's like, oh my god, this is my playmate, my favorite bunny, and I'm like. My head kind of split open for a slight second. My sister's out in the audience. She looks at me. She looks back. She knows I'm mad. And because I'm a professional person and I am female, and what we do when we're mad, we just go like this. And we simmer. And we simmer and we just put it away for a second. I'll kill you later. And that's what we do. That's
Did you confront her afterwards? You said
I didn't say
all right, you can't. I got something to tell
No,
you.
she knew that. She's like, oh fuck, I'm sorry. She's like, and I was like, just don't do it again. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's done now, so it is what it is. And she's like, no, for me, because for her, it's such a great thing. She's like, I would have loved it to. She didn't see anything like you should. Her thing is, you should be proud of that. I'm like, it's not that I'm ashamed of it. It's just a job. It's just a job, and it doesn't really jive with this job. You know what I mean? I did the Man Show. I'm so old. I was on the original Man Show.
The one with Adam Carolla?
Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel. And from that job,
you were the one on the trampoline?
I did the trampoline once, and I found it very dangerous, and I didn't want to do it again. So I showed up on trampoline day, and I was just accidentally not there when we. I was like, they'd hire all these like rando girls. I'm like, would you like to wear this outfit and go on the trampoline? You may.
Is it trampoline?
I wish I could be on the trampoline. Say no more. I am your genie. There you go. Knock yourself out, kid. It's a big break.
Would you think does it hurt more from a guy or from a girl?
What?
The bad introduction.
Telling me I'm stupid.
Well, either way.
I view it as telling me I'm stupid. Because none of those jobs. I mean, no, the Man Show did take me having a personality because you have to.
It's called the Man Show.
Yeah, you have to have a decent personality to get the humor on that. But model all that other stuff, like it's congratulations on your face. I mean, really, like
had nothing to do with it.
I literally like.
Okay, let me ask you this.
It doesn't. I don't. To me, I know some people like modeling takes talent. I mean, I guess. To me, but also to me, it was survival. I worked because I had to eat.
How old were you when you
So,
started in the business? Did you do pageants as a kid or something?
no, I was
Miss
terrified
something?
as a kid. I almost flunked high school because I couldn't do roll call.
Because you couldn't do what?
Roll call. I
You,
could not acknowledge I was in a room and say here. So I would wait because I would have like
social anxiety?
serious anxiety. So, I mean, I don't get stage fright. That's a weird thing. I don't get stage fright at
But
all.
socially, you're weird.
Grocery store, post office. I think I was telling you this when I go, I'm an asshole, man. Like I go into the elevator and I hear someone. I'm like, no, 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 and I will just. I'm panicking, and I will push that button, and the doors are closed, and I'm like, because they're not in here with me. I can't do it. If I can't. I mean, I can. If they walk in, I'm like, okay, act like a human. Act like humans. What do humans do? They just do this.
And from a very
But I
young
would
age.
rather they not be in the elevator. I'd rather not they not be anywhere near me. Um, yeah, I have weird phobic things, and I think that's actually why the only way I can combat. I do two things. I go, nope, 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 shut the door, or because I feel so much anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and I also know what I look like, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna think I'm being mean, and I don't want them to think. I don't make them uncomfortable, and then it's fucking weird. So I'm such an introvert that I turn into the ridiculous extrovert. And I just start talking. I just start talking. I'm like, hi, hi. I ask stupid questions, act like I give a shit. And I'm like, oh my God. And inside I'm dying. Inside I'm fucking dying.
So you do small talk at a grocery store just because you don't want to make eye contact with the
Sometimes I
checkout
just
lady.
don't make eye contact.
And then when you do, like, oh, how's your day? It's hot out there, isn't
No,
it?
yeah, I must. And it's weird because I was actually saying, like, I'm losing my looks because there was a time when I struck fear in the heart of men and they would not talk to me. I would they would
And
walk and they go about face and they're like, nope. I'm like, that's a good boy. Don't talk to me. And then now it's like, I must be losing my looks because every walk of life just walks up to me and there's a thing on my forehead that says, spin the wheel of destiny. Just try her out. Just come up and say something stupid. She might fuck you. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, do I look like I care? I don't know. But
no, but if you keep putting on this,
I can't help it.
if you make it, if you
Yeah, I don't know
want to
what to
make you
do.
look, if you want to make you uncomfortable,
Yeah, I don't know what
and
to
it's
do.
like
I start
you
fidgeting.
react to it.
I fidget. And that's why, and also not comics, because I don't consider you guys people. You're just me. You're. I don't know. I feel safe for some reason
I'm back.
because I know that all comics are probably doing the same thing. Like, so,
Oh yes, I've seen that.
We're,
The social anxiety
the
thing
social
is a very
awkwardness,
common
social
thing.
awkwardness
Yes,
and
yes.
anxiety. So I feel like if I give just like a, hey, I'm weird, they go, okay, me too, and then it's good. But with normal people, they say stuff and I'm like, I think this is what's the face that says I care. I don't know what, like, I don't care about your kids. I don't care about your job. Why are you still talking to me? And I'm like, you know what I mean? But and it's weird and it's very, very strange. And then, even for like when I modeled, whenever I'd have like a Maxim or whatever, which I would go on a tour for the magazine for each one, and I would get paid money to go and let a venue use my likeness, and I show up and wave at people from behind a DJ booth and pretend I'm having a good time drinking and talk to people, and they come up to me and when I'm on, it doesn't, when I'm working, it doesn't bother me so much. When I'm not working and, like, let's say I'm walking in the grocery store or something, I'm very conscious that it's not their fault, so I adjust myself, but it does give me anxiety a little bit.
Okay, can I ask you a
And
question?
so I
Before-
I am now. It doesn't happen as much now. So now when someone's like, "Oh, I loved you in this," and it doesn't happen that often anymore. But like, I am very grateful. I'm like, "Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you." But sometimes people don't know how to dismount, and then they keep talking, and then that's when I panic. I'm like, I don't know how to get out of this without
now, I'm
seeming
trying to
like
ask
a
a question.
bitch. Okay, sorry.
Don't know how to dismount. I'm trying to ask a question. Did your parents put a lot of pressure on you as a kid? Or do you put your pressure on yourself? This is psychology part of the show.
Everything I did was wrong.
Yeah, you can never do enough. It's never good enough type shit.
Everything I did was always wrong.
Just wrong.
Yeah, I could never.
And your sister did good?
My sister is perfect. My sister is perfect.
Younger?
Younger, and she is perfect. She's the perfect person. I raised her. So, yeah, I did it. Yeah, she's. I love my sister. We get all. She's my best friend.
Sure, but I mean,
But yeah,
the reason why I asked.
Yeah, everything I did was always wrong, and also
Like called out wrong.
Yeah, I was always in trouble.
Like what's wrong? What's the
And
matter with you, Rachel?
Yeah, everything. I was taught not to have a voice. I think that's probably why stand-up comedy has such an appeal to me.
A lot? Yeah.
Because I was like, it's kind of like Mommy Dearest, like without the money. Like we weren't allowed to make noise like normal children. Like there's things when I see kids do stuff, I'm like, ooh, my mom would beat the shit out of me if I dare to speak in public. Like you weren't children. You didn't talk unless
you're talking to.
Yes.
You talk to. Look,
yeah,
I'm from Africa. My parents didn't fuck around with that.
No.
I've gotten my ass whooped. I have the record
my
of
mom
ass
would
whooping.
beat my ass in public. She didn't give a fuck.
So
I used to have bruises.
I had the belt. I had an episode where we talked about that, but
My
I
mom
remember
beat me with anything she could find.
we went to the grocery store. Check this out. We went to the grocery store and we had one of those like, think of it like a mini version of Costco where it's cheap, but it's all like it's not name brands. It's just regular the store's brand, right?
Okay.
It's called Leader Price.
Okay.
We'd go there and we'd come out with 2 full carts of stuff, and it was a family trip. And then at the checkout line, I made a comment. I said, "Wow, we won't be coming back for a while. Look at all this stuff." And I said that as a joke.
But what was bad about that?
Because it was basically saying that it made my parents feel bad about our situation and about, we're basically buying a bunch of stuff. I don't know. My dad didn't like it. He didn't like it that I made that comment.
Okay.
Got home, got my ass whooped for that.
Well, at least he waited till you got home.
Well, shit, because there was so much stuff in the car. It couldn't reach. But I mean, it's little, like if I said yes the wrong way.
Oh, I was not allowed. I had to say yes.
No,
I had to say yes, ma'am.
Oh no.
To this day,
no.
To this day, I'm an adult woman.
Yeah.
If my mother knew that I didn't say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir to anybody that was older than me, her long arm would reach from Corpus Christi, Texas, and beat my ass right now. Like if I were home,
yeah,
it's automatic. It's a thing. It comes out of my mouth. Like there's not a question. You don't say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. The day I ran away from home, I said yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
My parents still are back in Africa now, and even over the phone, if I answer wrong,
I can't say yeah.
My dad calls me, and he doesn't believe in voicemails, so he'll call me like 5 times in a row, and then when I answer, and I go yeah, and he goes,
oh, it's yes.
What?
You don't. I wasn't allowed to say yeah.
I was worried about you. What the fuck's wrong with you? I didn't even say what the fuck's wrong with you, but they'll give me that. I'm like, I could feel the slap from Africa all the way.
I'm gonna slap you from Africa, boy.
I'm gonna slap you to Africa. You know what?
I'm gonna slap the Africa back on you.
I will buy you a plane ticket, and you're gonna hop on the flight tomorrow,
just so I can slap you.
So I can whoop your ass at 39 and send you back to Texas. Yeah. It's like that, and it's your parents are not your best friends.
My mom used to say that all the time. I'm not your friend.
Yeah, no, my friend. I'm your
friend.
Mom. I'm your dad. Like, don't fucking give me this shit. So whoop your kids.
I mean, yeah, because they'll turn out like us, and we're great.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with my 3-year-old because my mom doesn't believe in that, and I'm like, I'm from Africa. I will. But it's scary in this country, though. It is scary.
I mean, I don't have children. It's really weird because I don't have children. So it's really like you always think what you would do.
Let me put a scenario together for you. A friend of my dad's had a.
There's this difference between a spanking and a beating. Like I got beatings.
No, it was.
But I believe in a spanking. Sure. I believe in a spanking.
No, I got the belt.
I got a straight beating.
the buckle side, but on my left hand. Point is, he told me a story about one of his friends that married a American girl. Moved to the U.S. and all that stuff. Had a kid. And at school, the kid learned, when child abuse, call this number.
Oh God.
And one day she got a spanking.
Oh hell
Went to the
no.
room, called child services. They took the dad.
Okay, so I tried that with my mother once.
Threatened with calling child services.
I did, but also my mom was a child abuser. She wasn't spanking me; she was beating me for reals. My mom picked up the phone, said, "Go ahead, call, call. They're gonna thank me." She lied to me. She goes, "They told me I could," and I was like, and I didn't question it. I was just like, okay, yeah, I didn't. I was not a dominant child at all. My sister was laughing.
She never got asked for it, probably.
My sister
right?
was like, "Why didn't you just walk out the door?" I'm like, "Girl, I would never made it." She fucking
She's
kidding.
fast.
She's
So
spry.
fast.
Bitch is spry. Yeah.
Shit. I won't even turn my back on it. Like, no way.
No.
Different times, folks.
My sister, I think so. It was like my stepdad. So we moved into a new place. She was saying something sassy. I don't know what the fuck she was saying, but she was talking back. And I think we got sent to our room. And my sister shut the door.
Like, slammed the door.
Kinda. And
There's a fine line.
she did this thing. It's hilarious to this day. She did it in one movement. It was pure magic to watch. She slams the door, sassy as can be, does this flip where she flips this way, pulls her pants just to expose her ass, and goes, "Kiss my white ass." And then flips back over and goes, and she's laughing. And I don't know how he managed to move that fast. My stepdad was right. It was like a genie. And we were both, we just screamed. And he goes, "What'd you say?" And she's like, "Nothing." And he looked at me and goes, "You heard it." I'm like, "I didn't hear anything."
Am I going to
And
snitch on my sister?
in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it for this one." He goes, "You didn't hear anything." I'm like, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't hear anything. But inside, I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, "Oh my God, it's worth the beating if I get one." Because this is too good. So that's the kind of house. Oh, or my mom's crazy. My mom's insane.
Wait, so did you get the beating because
I always
you
got the beating. 'Cause, yeah, I did, because I didn't snitch, but
Yeah.
it was worth it. And it was funny. But like one time, my stepdad, who passed, he was an alcoholic, but he
just gonna slide that in real quick?
well, it's funny
Like,
because
that's
they would have these like really. I think this is why when I have been married 3 times, and like I it's not that I'm incapable of falling in love. I fall in love like a gay man. Like, I'm in love every 5 seconds. But it's like if I see it's not going well,
The red flag?
I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm not, because I've done that where I've stayed in a relationship too long, thinking I can fix it. You can't fix it.
Don't
And
even try.
no, I try, and then I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to sit here and
Why are you
like
trying to fix it?
be in a miserable relationship with somebody. So I'm done.
Why are you trying to fix it?
I think when you get married, you do make a vow to people, and
Oh, when you get married, not just
yeah,
date.
no date. Oh, I'm out. I'm done. Like
But the marriage was
I'll cut
like,
a bitch
you're
off
like,
quick in any relationship. But like it's because I watched my mom in so many relationships that were so abusive, and that's why she was the way she was, crazy. And then she stayed with my brother's dad, my stepdad, for way too long. And I was like, why don't you break? They were just two very dysfunctional people that couldn't
unhappy together.
Yeah, it was the weirdest fucking shit. And I just remember one time, and I remember my sister and I ran because we burst out laughing. He would come home, and he wouldn't even look at us. He would come home and he'd make a mixed drink. And to this day, I can't stand the smell of rum and Coke. It smells like ink. It reminds me of him. It's just disgusting to me. And he would have like a drink and a half, And then he would acknowledge us, like, "Oh, hi, kids." I'm like, "Oh, fuck me, this guy
That's
hates
all he
us."
needed.
Yeah, he's like, but mind you, he
Thank
went
God
to
he never
work
ran
all day.
out.
He went to work all day. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Thank God he
maybe
didn't run out. He didn't come home
you
like,
can't. You
"Where's
can't.
my fucking rum and coke?"
Yeah, we used to like try to dilute it. He'd always know. Um, and one day he's just being, my mom's on one, he's on one, like they're just being assholes to each other. We're just like dinner was always uncomfortable. It's always uncomfortable. And so he's sitting watching TV and he's like, "Cindy, get me a drink." And it was like an order. It was like a roar. And my mom just looked up and she's like, "You want a fucking drink?" He's like, "Yeah, get me a beer." And it was like an order. And she's like, "I want a beer." Okay. She gets up and my sister and I like, "What's gonna happen?" We're like sitting there trying to eat our mashed potatoes. Like,
There's
we're
some furniture
like,
flying
do
in this bitch.
do we duck? What do we do? Because I was like, that didn't sound good. So my mom goes and gets the beer.
Uh-huh.
She fucking winds that shit up, throws it, and it just clocks him in the eye. I mean, you hear, I think it like, it sounded like a crack.
You saw it in slow motion.
It was, and so we're sitting here and we can't help it. It came out like we burst out laughing. So we should have shut up, and then we're laughing. It was like laughter. And then he looks at us and we're ah! We just like ran, shut the door, and like locked the door. We're like, "Oh shit."
Wait, who ran?
My sister and I, we just took off because we were supposed to be quiet. We were just supposed to watch the violence in silence, but we could. It was just too funny. Like she just fucking hit him in the head with the beer. He's like, "You want a beer, motherfucker?" Here. And it's still funny to this day. But it's like
You
that's
saw the visual in your head. Like,
it's so funny. It's so dysfunctional and violent, and no child should ever have to endure that. But it was funny as fuck, and so that's where the weird sense of humor started very young. And also my sister and I just like we don't need to talk. She'll just give me a look, and I know what she's thinking, and then we just laugh like forever because we have this shared experience of weird family life.
So why to switch to comedy after all this acting and all that stuff and modeling and all that? What was the trigger? Because I mean, you did funny shit before.
I mean, the trigger.
I like your boots on my couch.
Sorry.
I told you this couch went to war.
I feel like because I'm not touching the thing.
It's gonna sink you. You're gonna sink in it. That's fine. I don't give a shit. Like I said, this couch went to war.
One. I feel like I was going through my third failed marriage, and I was severely depressed, and I hadn't washed my hair, I hadn't gotten out of bed, I hadn't done anything, and a friend of mine, she invited me to her stand-up show, and she's just like, "At least get up and shower, like use this as
at least wash your crotch. Come on now,
at
this
least
flies around the room.
She's like,
it's disgusting.
This is a problem. I'm getting complaints." And I was like, and that's another thing. Like, I won't do things for myself, but that's why I also I like my network of comics where I'm like, we're going to go to a mic, we're going to do this. And I'm really good at that because if I make a promise to somebody else to show up, I'll do it. If it's just me, I'll come, I'm better. I treat other people better than I do myself. And so for her, I was like, I'll go. And so I watched it, and then, she knows a lot about me, and she's just like, "I think you should maybe do stand-up." I'm like, not everyone can do stand-up. I'm like, I would die. I literally can't do, I can't, there has to be a camera there. I can't just talk to people because it's like people stare at me, and then I start sweating. And she was like, "I think you should do it just for a goal, just to
like distract yourself, to do something different."
Yeah, she's like, just to get through it. So originally,
hold it like this.
Originally, it was, and I was writing, and I was writing the book, and I was having a really block on just procrastination, and also even.
Were you depressed too at that time?
Very. No. I was very depressed.
Well, hold on. One more question before you keep going. I'm trying to find the right moment to ask questions. Was the divorce painful? That third one?
Yeah.
More painful than the other two?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm the one. Everyone thinks that I pulled the trigger, so it's not. I'm done. It was a really. I mean, yeah, it was awful. It's still an adjustment. It's still like this is something that everyone thinks of it because he's Australian. Like, oh, did you marry? Did he marry you for a green card? I'm like, no, we got married because we were in love and we were together for a very long time, and then
Hmm.
just the last year and a half sucked. The rest of the time was fine.
And it
Um,
is not a one of those. Okay, I think he's run his course. Let's go our separate ways. Because that's real. That really happens. That
no,
whole like let's just.
that is. I mean,
Are you? Are,
no. I have
your eyes are
allergies.
watery.
No, I have allergies.
Sure.
Um, I'm not
Sure,
crying.
allergies.
Um, no, I was really unhappy,
Was he?
and I think he was, and I think he didn't realize he was, and that's one of the discussions we had. In his country, I guess men don't have depression. It's very weird,
Hey, sunshine and
and he doesn't
kangaroos.
believe in it. And there were just certain patterns of things that were happening that were causing a lot of problems. And I said, this can't happen. And it didn't change. And I was like, I think you're depressed because this is happening. And
Hmm.
he was like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, I think you don't know that, but you are. I think you're depressed. And I don't know why that is, but uh, I'm not happy with the way things are going. I need a change. I can't do this. This, I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel right now and I don't like it. And so I need to concentrate on me. And that sounds really selfish. But if I don't do it now, it's not going to get any better. Like we can stay together and we will just make each other miserable. And I don't want that. And I'm also really lucky to not look my age. And I'm squeezing a tube of the toothpaste here
Hmm.
of my youth. And there's certain opportunities that you have
Yeah, of
when
course.
you're young or when you
Yeah, yeah,
look
yeah, yeah,
young or
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
marketable.
Especially as a woman.
And if I don't save save that for myself, I'm going to really be resentful. And I'm already kind of resentful. So you need to go do you. I need to go do me. And
And he
I
said,
think he was
"Sure."
in, no, he was in shock. He was in shock, and then he went through all the stages, and then he was like, "No, you're right," and he's living his best life right now. We are actually still legally married, um,
Oh, so there's
and
a
so
chance.
well, I don't even know what to say to that. It's not even anything I think of. It's weird because I always say like he's still family,
Sure.
so
Like you can't let someone who knows so much about you. You can't just let
no,
him
it's
loose to the world.
impossible. It's
You can't do that.
impossible.
Like the
Uh,
gays, you got to get them back.
but you know, as far I think when you've gone through so much with somebody, it does run its course.
Hmm.
So at this present time, it's run its course romantically, but not uh,
Friendshiply,
friendship,
friendshiply,
love. You know what I
whatever.
mean? There's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
love
I can
there.
still
It's just
appreciate.
not.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. I
um,
get that.
but
I get
also
that.
I'm so wrapped up in myself right now that I'm not dateable.
Well,
I am a man. I am every fuck boy that I've ever dated that like, why do you like me? Oh, I'm just I'm doing me. That I've turned into it. I am it. I am exactly this, and I get it now. I'm like, oh, it really is hard to do, and I do notice a pattern when I think about my past relationships. Like every time I'm doing well work wise,
hmm,
I don't do well romantically.
it's hard to have both.
And when I
It's
do
hard to have
well
both compatible.
romantically,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you mean.
my work wise, my fulfillment of I tried being a normal person. I ran a business for 9 years. I fucking hated it. Um, I've been an entertainer of some sort since I was 19, and that's what I know, and it's what I'm comfortable with, and it's what makes me feel normal. Is things that are very abnormal to the rest of the world, and it's really hard it's a selfish thing. It's a really selfish thing. And especially this is something that you can't take. I mean, you can take a class, but you can't take a class. You have to learn by doing, and you have to have experiences. If I had a family, you think I could be fucking tramping all over to like Texas and Florida? You know what I mean? It's like I have a family. You can't do that. Something's gonna give. Something's not gonna be okay. So right now I don't have any commitments. I have a cat and it travels very well, actually.
Trust me, but I mean, if that's something that
you know what I mean.
if
So
that's
it's
something
like
that you want, it's not a.
it makes me feel okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So if there was something bigger, I'm not going to throw the kid thing because that's the obvious one.
Well, see, I mean, if I'm being really honest, like I feel,
Yeah, no,
I feel like kids. I don't. It's not that I'm against them. I just feel like I understand the commitment that they are because my mom was so absent. She was very present in the discipline, but not present in the nurturing.
Yeah, that can suck.
And yeah. So, and I craved that so much. So I realized like I would never want to do that to a kid.
Right.
So if I were to have one, then this stops. Then it's the kid because I know what that's like to grow up with a shitty parent. So I would never want to be a shitty parent.
I've heard that story many times.
So, yes. And also, I mean, but I also don't feel unfulfilled. You know what I mean? Like there's some women that like, if I don't have a kid, I will die.
Yeah,
I will feel unfulfilled. I have done so many things in my lifetime that I feel very fulfilled. The only thing I haven't, no point. Well, I haven't had respect.
What?
No. Everything's based on looks. All my jobs based on looks. Even the ones that everything's taken an audition. Everything is taken a skill set to get. But overall, it's based on looks or popularity or my last job. This is the only thing that you can get to a certain point based on looks or based if you're likable, but you'll plateau out. Those people don't last, and it's sink or swim. You get your opportunities, you do your best with them, but you still have to do the work. If you don't do the work, you will not last. Okay. So this is the only thing that is not the only thing that, like, unless I get a real movie role where I'm the lead of something that's very dramatic.
Okay, hold on.
You know what I mean? Like to me, it's the only thing that garnishes that, like, oh shit, I can't do that.
Yeah, but at least you know who wants to fuck with you, who's loyal. It really weeds out all the other bullshit.
Comedy?
No, I mean, you're saying that if it was all looks, and then now that you're quote unquote losing it or whatever, whatever.
I'm relying on it less.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, so now it's like, look, the people that actually want to be around me and get to know me, want to get to know me in a more genuine way than, oh yeah, she's hot, let her get on. Say, yeah, she's hot, put her on front of the camera. Yeah.
Well, especially now because my I don't really alter my personality to be. Like if someone else wants me to be.
Yeah, so if your material was all, I'm hot, and my story's about me being hot, I'd be like...
That's so boring.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, no, that's being full of shit because you're asking people to respect you, but that's all you put out there.
Yeah. I also have a problem. I think people...
This is long as psychiatry.
Psychiatry. We're getting into
a therapy session
now.
that I've had.
Therapy!
We had an hour and a half. We can go on. I don't care.
How do you feel like, because my Instagram, it's a lot, like the first few rows now are like comedy shows and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I do notice the algorithm. I have to feed the beast and post a picture of my face.
How do I feel about what?
Female comics that pose bikini shots or lingerie shots or whatever. Now, maybe it's just me making myself feel better, but I was like, oh, my stuff's all that at one time was my job, and it is my brand, and I'd be silly, like, fans are fans. Why would you get rid of them? You know what I mean? You have to feed the beast a little bit. I'm getting them used to the fact that I speak now, like, oh, shit, it talks. So that's great, but then I hear a lot of people having a lot of opinions about female comics that weren't models or actresses, but they're trying to make it their brand. The super sexy
Sure. Can I answer the question?
OnlyFans type of thing. Like, what do you think about that?
I'll be brutally honest.
It's okay.
I do not give a fuck. It doesn't
You
work
don't
on
care
me.
either way.
No, it doesn't work on me. It
But
does.
do you feel like those people, like, because there's people like, I don't respect them just for that. And I'm like, so without apparently a person's physicality or how they dress automatically means they are funny or not funny without hearing a word. Like, there's people that just go, no, I'm not doing it.
I don't do that. I know there is a stigma. Like we were talking about it with another comic the other day, and he was like, when even as a dude, when you look good and you get on stage, that you're Chris D'Elia, and you're
You think Chris D'Elia is a good looking dude?
I'm just saying. This is the first name that popped in my head because
Okay.
most comics are not that good looking. That's why they do comedy
I
for
think
the
I have a
confidence.
crush on Jesselneck. I ain't gonna
Okay, here we
lie.
go. Here's
Woo!
another one. No, here's another
I think
one.
he's cute.
Yes, and so you there's this stigma where you think, what the fuck you got to complain about? You're good looking. Like, what struggle, what hardship are you going to talk
Yeah.
about in your set? But to me, I'm such a nerd that I look more for, okay, how did he do this joke? What's the material? Where's the punchline? I study that so much
Yeah.
that I don't care what you look like. I care about the
But you
material.
also have the luxury of being a man. That it doesn't matter what you look like.
Yeah, but that's not there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
Put me in your body for 5 minutes and put me in front of a comedy. I'll probably say the same thing. I think so.
Yeah.
If my brain's the same.
I wonder.
I'd say
I'd have
that.
to. I wonder if Jesselneck thinks he's pretty. I feel like
Probably.
He does. I feel like he does. He
But-
knows
but-
he's
but-
cute.
but
he
he
has
play-
to.
but he
Do you know
plays-
you're cute because he's super cute?
But he plays on
Um,
that because you don't expect the kind of comedy, kind of material he does looking
Yeah.
like that. So it's like, wait, here's this pretty boy. He's been probably a pretty boy his entire life. Now he has a beard, so he looks.
Do you think that's why his humor is
And
so
now he's
dark?
the darkest shit ever. And then he the way he
He's
talks,
like a furry little rabbit. It's like a little bunny. It's like
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But if that's what his brand is, that's his brand is.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna ugly himself
Yeah.
to be able to talk about
but
those
as
things.
women, we are expected to tone it down.
Sure, you can expect all
Tone
you
it down.
want.
I had to explain to some. He's an established comic, because I won't mention his name, but he said something about like, oh, well, you must do well because like you're pretty, you're hot for a comic, you're pretty for a comic. Female comedians aren't pretty, and I'm like, what world decade are you living in, dude?
Actually,
It's not the world of Roseanne Barr anymore. Like, pretty comics fall off trees. That doesn't that thing hot for pretty for a comic, hot for doesn't exist anymore. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're all pretty. They're all and good. The ones they're of the, you know what I mean? Like, maybe as a man you don't like their brand of comedy, but like the writing skills are there.
sure.
It's
I'm saying
no-
I'm too big of a nerd, of a comedy nerd, to honestly, if I close my eyes and listen, because that's how I started
that's what
listening.
that's what they say to do with movies too.
When I first started listening to like American comedy, it was on the radio. There was a internet radio station called Comedy 104. It was literally just bits after bits after bits. So they would throw some Roseanne, some after some Louis C.K., some Felicia Michaels, a bunch, whoever, Ant, like fucking whoever was on
Yeah.
there. So that's how I listened. And I was like, that was a lot of my English lessons. But on top of that, I was like, if I can listen to your jokes, and you're not one of those comics that you have to see act out the bit to be funny, because I think that's kind of lazy to me. If you tell the premise and you act out the thing, and the punchline is the acting out, no, not for me. That was my beef with Cat Williams, because what Cat Williams says is pretty straightforward, but it's the way he acts it out that's funny.
I think it's
Kevin
both.
Hart did that too later in his career.
I think it's both. I think Cat Williams. I think
Look,
the cadence in which
Sure,
he speaks.
but I respect that.
yeah.
But if you're Dan Cook and you're doing backflips on stage, just to show, and that's the funny part. I'm
Well, see,
like,
and
no,
then
not for
here's a
me.
perfect example for me of being able to say the person clearly has something because they're a very established, famous comedian.
Hmm.
I personally don't get it.
Don't get hold.
Dane Cook.
I didn't either.
He's a love. I mean,
No, as
I
a
have to see
business,
him all the time, so he's a lovely person. But like,
as a
but the
business
thing is, like,
person, he did great. As
for me as a, like,
the same thing, Pretty Boy, Pretty
I didn't
Boy.
get it.
Didn't don't matter what his background
Yeah.
is. Went into movies, was the biggest thing. Spent all of his money on the website. Came up with the Sufi shit, and his brother took all of his money. But the point
Yeah.
is, it's. I want to be able to close my eyes, listen to your jokes, picture them in my head, and laugh. And I don't care what you look like.
Do you think Chris D'Elia is funny if you don't see the act outs?
No,
Because that's one of the things. Because
I don't. I've actually did
I did a show with him. I did a Workaholics with him, and
the
it's of
Comedy
course,
Central show.
yeah, it's of course the episode that got erased. You have to like buy it now to see it
Oh,
because it's about him being a child molester. So they took it off.
oh, of course they did.
So fucked my residuals. Thanks, Chris. But I went to after the tape after we wrapped. He's like, oh, I have to go do these shows, and his work ethic, like he just went like this show, this show, this show. It doesn't
Sure.
did at the time. I don't know if he drinks now, but like at the time didn't drink. He like just goes, and I'm like, aren't you fucking tired? And I was just like, wow, this is you really put the time in to do this. And he was like, oh yeah, there's like no, if there's a box and there's a microphone out and you say go do stand up, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that to me, I was just like, I was really like, I really just really like that work ethic
Sure.
of it. And I kind of like, obviously some horrifying things have happened with his brand, but like when I started doing stand up, because I already just knew all these other people that their work ethic with stand up was just so, this is what we do. We just do it. What do you do? We wake up, you drink coffee with, and you put stand up in it. You go to sleep, there's stand up. What do you do when you stand up? And so, and for me, I have such an obsessive, I have a very addictive personality. So this is perfect for me. At some point, I'm a little nervous about burning out.
I don't because I need to do something else. Not that I get bored, but to me, it's like
it's the only thing I want to do. Like if
I
almost don't even have. I'm surprised I have friends. My friends that have stayed with me that don't do stand up.
They're boring as fuck, ain't they?
No. I was saying like,
Can't hang with
I'm
them.
so happy that they tolerate because it's literally like a little kid and that learned about giraffes that day and all they talk about is giraffes. You're like, Lord Jesus, you have a kid. You understand what it's like?
Sure.
Like I'm that right now.
And
I
that's fine.
must sound like a broken record to people. Like to date me must be annoying as fuck. Like bitch, all she talks about is stand up.
What I'm trying to say is that I don't have an addictive personality.
Oh, I do.
I don't half-ass, but I have so many interests in things I want to do that I try to like perfect every single one of them. So like I'm doing.
But they all are but they all go together, right? Because I do have a theory on that. I do have
like master of none,
jack
whatever
of all trades, master of nothing.
Yeah.
And it is I've had too many things that I've tried to do, and you really have to pick two.
Yeah, I have two right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not counting my son. I'm not counting my job. But I have two things that I'm like, comedy being one of them, and then this other project that I've been working on. But to me, it's like life is too short to not
Do everything.
try to learn as much from it as possible. So having interest, going down to rabbit holes, on YouTube, meeting people with different views, and talking even. And I gotta say, like, one of the reasons why I got into comedy, I mean, besides the fact that I'm a nerd about it, is that, well, first of all, I had no problem connecting with people to begin with. I've always been the social butterfly who knew everybody.
This is like you know how Dumbo had that little feather.
No,
Did you ever see Dumbo?
Not the whole thing, actually. It's one of the ones that I
It's
didn't
really
care
sad.
about.
It's super sad. So Dumbo, the baby elephant, he could
Yeah, I know
always
it is.
fly, but they tricked him, and they said, "You can. This is a magic feather." So they gave him this feather, and he was holding on to this thing, and
Hmm.
that's why he thought, even though he could always fly. So for me, because I'm terrified of people, this microphone is like that. Like it really, it's a security blanket, for sure.
Okay,
It's
here's
it's
your
my
talk
it's way
pillow.
it's the way I can connect. I can talk to people. Like it's too bad I can't just walk around like this all the time.
I mean, we've been talking for almost 2 hours now, and I'm like, I don't want to stop, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
I do that to people.
Yes,
I s- uh,
might have to cut this one in half into a part one and a part two. It's all right. I'm not mad at it. I mean, I know you're only here for a little bit, so I want to make sure I love these podcasts because well, one, I just met you yesterday, and two, I can just ask one question and you can just run
I
your
just
mouth for
go.
10 minutes
I just go.
because you have a microphone in your hands.
Yeah. I headlined very. Everything I'm doing is very premature too. Like I'm really
How long you been doing it then?
uh 2 years,
2 years?
including the pandemic. But I also worked through the pandemic. So
Okay.
but I so my mentor is Tom Green, so I run everything by him.
Tom Green, the
Y-
Tom Green
yes.
from the Tom Green show. Tom
Yes, I
Green.
ask him
My
everything.
bum is on the cheese. My bum is on the
I
cheese.
ask him
Tom
everything. I
Green.
asked him everything. He was trying today. He was trying to explain to me like um, finding the rhythm of the audience, so that you can find it. So that way you're letting them laugh, but still keeping the rhythm of what you're saying.
Uh huh.
Because I'm having a really hard time with that lately. I feel like I feel like I'm either cutting the audience off, and then they're afraid to like, but or I'm waiting too. I don't know. I just feel off.
It's a
I feel
process.
really, yeah, it's a process.
I don't. There's no. And I mean, we
It's
can say
also a problem when you get too spoiled and like, oh, they're always laughing, and then
no,
like
no,
they're
no, no.
laughing at different parts now, and I don't know why. And I'm like, that wasn't a joke. Okay.
My,
Um,
my my only thing is I don't want to. I mean, the whole point. It's how I like. I know how I am one on one,
yeah,
and I'm trying to take that and put it on stage.
that's the goal.
That is.
That's
That's
the
just
goal.
me. As soon as I have more than three people in the group,
Yeah.
where maybe the attention is away from me or something, I'm like, I don't always have to be center of attention. On
Yeah.
the contrary, because I observe a lot,
Yeah.
and I like to be a fly on the wall just to stare at shit.
Yeah.
And so, just like going to a strip club, to me, it's a social experiment. I'd rather just not participate and just watch, and just take it all in and try
Likes
to
to watch.
look at you. Yeah, I'll watch. I'll watch. I'll watch all day. I'll be in a corner. I'll watch shit.
Oh Lord.
Hey, you said it. Uh, but to take that, yeah, just be comfortable. And when I first started, I sounded like a script, and it because I wrote everything down like paragraphs and shit.
Yeah.
And the whole point is to get to a point where it's just in your head and you can just play around
Yeah.
with your material.
Well,
And if
I
someone
like.
interrupts you, you shouldn't fuck up your flow. You should
No,
add on
never.
to it and so on. Yeah.
I like to make it to it's like a sense memory thing. Like it's a memory.
Yeah, exactly. Just like let's like a song you know by heart you don't think about.
Yeah, I mean, I really love doing crowd work, and I'm always happy when people want to play. But sometimes I interrupt myself to do the crowd work, and then I'm like, oh shit, I was telling a story. I was like, and that's why I can't eat cheese. Yeah, that moment happens.
So I can't. Jeez.
That moment happens. Or I was listening to this thing. It was like a talk show. It was Ricky Gervais was the host, and it was Seinfeld, Chris
Louis
Rock.
and Chris Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that.
yes,
Yeah,
you've
I
seen
watched
that
that.
one. So
Yeah.
you saw the thing where Louis C.K. says, "Do your best joke first,
Yeah.
and then work backwards because it makes you tighten the rest up." So I've been trying that, and it does work because I do real. It's my dead husband's one that I did last night, and it does really go. This is all. This is like gets their attention because like that's a fucking weird thing to say that all your husbands are dead, and also it kind of lets you know my vibe. Like that's my shit. Like
That's what I did yesterday.
experienced. But it really does make you, because I'm so used to a different order, so then I'm trying to do a different order, and then also, I market myself very well, and it does get me into trouble because then people think I can do things that I can't do yet,
Like
such
what?
as I headlined way too soon.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Like,
I
if you
headlined.
already
I
doing
headlined.
that.
I did 30 minutes. Well, didn't not a full hour, but
What?
30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, hold on. You have
Um,
30 minutes of solid shit.
they were entertained.
Okay, sure. That is the. I
They were
get.
entertained. Was it like set up punchline? Psh, no. It was.
It worked.
It worked. They were entertained. They were happy. They took pictures with me afterwards. I still got paid. I was expected to not get paid.
That is
Yeah.
soon. That is quick,
Um,
man.
But they also, the venue was very smart. They marketed me as wedding crashers, not like doing stand
The
up
other
now.
work, the other jobs.
So they were just like, they were, I mean, I probably could have talked about anything. But I did my jokes. I did a lot of crowd work. I really like doing crowd work. So thank God that they were willing to participate. And then, and then, and then a lot of, when you do the crowd work, it was just like a lot of, conversational things.
What do you do for a living, and how long you been married?
Well, yeah, because I make a joke that I kill all my husbands, so I love it when people are married or like for a
Yeah.
really long time. Like, how'd you live so long? Tell me. So, and they find it funny, or I ask, I have a cat that I sexually objectifies me all the time, so I ask people what their fucking pets and stuff like that, and that is kind of cheating. But I'm also very new. But they don't seem to mind right now. Like the day they're like, "You suck," I'm like, "Okay, can't use that can't use that crutch anymore." But it was very nerve wracking, and it was fucking okay. I'm name dropping it right now. David Spade's fault is why I did this.
Wait, the headline?
Yes, because I said I have this. They asked me to do this. Should I do it? And his response was, "You've only been doing this for 2 years. I would have done anything.
That's
Anything. You never say no. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out." And I like, "You sure?" And he's like, "Just do it. Just say yes. You'll figure it out." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm going to say yes. And he kind of forgot that he told me to say yes. So then I go to a show in LA and I see him like, "Oh my God, I have my thing tomorrow." And I'm kind of like, I have like the 5 minute, like it's just a bunch of 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
From open
Yeah.
mics.
I mean, if you think about it that way, it's very, if you think about it like a math equation, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I was still like, what if I forget the order, or like it was
If you
kind
start
of
saying
like
what ifs,
it was. Yeah, I was really
you're
like,
gonna
I was like,
be-
uh-oh, I don't get stage fright, but this might be what it feels like. And I can't back out now. I can't back out now. And so I saw him, and he looks at me and kind of forgot that he told me, and he goes, his hands go to his mouth, and he's laughing. His eyes are like, he's like, "Oh my God, you're gonna do it?" I'm like, "I do it tomorrow." And he goes, "You told me." He's like, "What?" He's like, "You're gonna headline." And he was like, "Oh my God." And he was like, "I'm so nervous for you." And I was just like, "You told me to do it." 'Cause I didn't think.
but you knew it was 30 minutes.
Yeah. And he's like, "I didn't think you'd actually say yes." He's like, "You have such balls." He's like, "You'll be fine." He's like, but he's laughing. He's kind of laughing that I took his advice. And I'm like, "Of course I take your advice. I trust you." But he's laughing, and he's just like, "You're going to be fine." He's laughing. So, I mean, I had to he's like, "Just call me afterwards. Tell me how it went." I'm like, "Yeah, it was fine." I always say they didn't, people say, "How'd it go?" I go, "They didn't throw fruit."
That's a good sign.
Yeah, so they
People don't carry tomatoes no more when they go to
don't
shows.
throw fruit.
This is the last century type deal.
If they don't throw fruit, you're fine. Well, no, didn't
Who got tomatoes thrown at them on stage lately?
no.
In
What's his name?
Who?
Oh gosh, tall, very tall, black man, very
Very-
smart. Lives in Ohio.
Chappelle?
Yes, he got a banana peel. thrown at
That
him.
is right. He made it, but he turned it into a joke. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
It happened here, didn't it?
Did it happen here? Oh,
I
was
think it
in
happened here.
Austin?
Yeah, I think it did happen here.
Yeah,
It was right around the time it was starting to come back.
yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yes,
it did
and he
happen
said it
here.
was a very dark banana peel. So he
Yes.
thought it was very racist of them.
Yes, I remember that. I remember.
I don't
that.
know
That's
if
true.
I don't know if that's true or if he just
Somebody
embellished the
carries
story.
a banana.
Yeah.
You know, people used to carry tomatoes and potatoes and
Yeah.
radish, but you know.
Yeah,
No,
old
it's
fruits.
banana.
That's what I say. I'm like, they didn't throw fruit, so I guess it was fine.
I would love to headline. No, actually, no. Take
Just
that
do
back.
it.
No, no, I will. I'll get to it. But what I'm saying is, um, I'm getting performing in front of comics is starting to be annoying because either they heard my shit already. I'm talking about open mics.
Yeah.
They heard my shit already, but I'm thinking no, don't think of it like performing in front of comics. Think of it like you're just putting your reps in and you're just trying to get your material in your head, just ingrained in your
It's your
head.
time. It's not their time.
Pretty much, yes. So like last night, I went last.
Yeah, I'm super. I've learned to be really selfish. I don't know. I guess that's maybe where the arrogance comes in handy a little bit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about you. I'm here for me.
I mean,
it's my time. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Within the first 3 minutes, you said they were pathetic. So I see the superiority complex.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a defense mechanism.
Wherever it comes from, wherever it comes from.
I do have really good relationships with other comics and stuff, but for the few that like aren't into me and do give me an attitude, I'm like, go fuck yourself. And then I don't start shit with people, but I just like, you don't exist. I mean, I recently got mean girled at an event.
You got what?
I got mean girled. You know what that means?
The show from the movie?
Yeah, like when they're
Yeah.
the cool girls being mean.
Oh, okay.
This girl was not cool, but she was still mean.
Was she hot?
Not at all.
You just saying that, or factually?
She looked like perhaps she just rolled out of rehab, and maybe that's her brand. But
I could talk about brand. It's funny.
Like, ugh.
Your brand is funny.
Thank
that
you.
should be the brand. Period.
Yeah, I walked in, and then she said to another female comic, laughing, so I don't think this was a compliment, she said I looked like another female comic who's very glamorous, and she laughed
like
about
who?
it. She was like, oh, I thought that was so and so, but
Who's
she was like,
you don't want to say
I
who's so and
can't, I don't
so?
want to say.
Oh.
But the way it was said, it wasn't like a compliment. It was like, oh, I thought there was, and
You
laughing.
look nothing like Amy Schumer.
Thank you.
Now, at least.
Give me some time.
Get pregnant, start a cooking show.
Exactly. Wait till I get all the money and I'll just start eating better. And it was meant to be an insult. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that's just her face. Maybe she just has a cunty face. I don't know. Maybe that could be it too. But my friend was with me, and my friend's an actress. She's very pretty. She's on a TV show and films here. And so she's texting me because she's like, that girl's a bitch. Because I would try to like be nice, and she's like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, I'm here from LA, but I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. Like that's where I was born,
mm-hmm.
but I was raised back and forth. And it's just small talk. And I'm trying to, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to impress her. I don't know. I'm trying to at least be friendly because we're working together. And
mm-hmm.
The first interaction was like, did I imagine that? Or just being, maybe it's me. Because I do realize, I do have anxiety. I think everyone at some point, like I realize it might be in my head. So I'm like, maybe I imagined that. Because no one's that weird for no reason. I'm not. Okay, and so I gave it a new.
Nervous?
No, I gave it a new go. I gave it another. There's just some people. I'm just like, maybe did I imagine that, or is she really being a bitch? So I'm like, maybe I imagined that. So she's like, oh, you're from LA. Oh, I'm from Corpus. And she goes, oh, okay, cool. And the other woman's being lovely to me. This girl, she goes, yeah, I can't even mimic her. I don't know her voice. Even like those girls that like.
Is that the fry or
like,
the question?
No, they're like
the Britney look.
Her voice is just like depression's my thing, and like
she needs IV.
I'm like, are you anemic? Like, are you okay?
You need a blood transfusion.
What the fuck's wrong with you? Fucking, you're so tired. I can't even like enunciate. Like that. She's that girl.
Oh,
I'm
with
like
the fry on top of that.
Oh, I hate it so much. I'm like,
ugh.
I've never seen so many.
Gross.
I've never seen so many depressed little white girls with daddy's credit card in my entire life. Like, what is wrong? There is nothing wrong with you. Like, you can afford shampoo. Like, you're like looking at your Instagram. Your family's rich. Like, what the fuck? You know, what is wrong with you? She's like,
Yeah.
like it's a choice. Like the ripped jeans and the greasy hair and like looking like you called it like a garbage pail kid. Remember garbage pail kids?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's what
yeah, yeah.
like. That's the what it
That's the
reminded
look.
me of.
Yeah.
And then this attitude on top of it, and I was like, dude, okay. So then this is what she goes, yeah, I hate people from Corpus Christi, and like I was just like, I just decided I don't like them. I'm like,
That's an opinion. That's
this
a
is after
person?
I tell her that's where I'm from.
Yeah, but that's actually.
And that came out of her mouth. And I'm like, I don't really know what to say about that. And then I'm like, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to leave this green room and I'm going to go sit in the audience because I kind of feel like either subconsciously or consciously you're trying to fuck me up. Or you're just a stanky person with a stanky attitude and I don't want your stank. So I'm going to leave because I don't want to do this anymore. So me and my friend leave. And I go on stage. They laughed. I did well. I think I did well. She goes up after me. She does not do well. And then I just looked at her and I was like, that is your karma. Because you were too worried about my pants being too shiny or I look like this other pretty girl that you don't like or where you spent that 5 minutes trying to make me uncomfortable because you're uncomfortable clearly.
Your life sucks.
So your karma is now I went before. I almost wish I would have gone after her. That's the only bitchy. So I was like, ooh, am I a bitch? I kind of wish that she had gone first and bombed, and then, cause I would have gone back up because I know I wouldn't. Because I'm fine. I'm fine warming up my own crowd. I don't give a fuck.
No, okay,
So I was because she just made me because that's when I got mad. Like in the beginning, I was like, I'm just gonna step away from this. But then the more I thought, I'm like, you're mean to me for no fucking reason, like literally no reason. And there's women like we should all comics should stick together, but women especially we should stick together because there are boys that are already mean to us. Why do we have to be mean to each other for fucking no reason? And also, if I'm a pretty girl and new and you're so experienced, why are you sweating me? Why are you sweating me? You're just being a cunt. Don't be cunty.
Women are insecure about other women. The reason why women put
I'm
makeup
not.
on. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying the reason why women put makeup is not for the dudes. It's for the other girls.
I guess.
It is. The reason why the
peacock
they put on,
around.
Yeah, exactly. A woman's challenge is another woman.
So
in life.
ridiculous.
Hey, I didn't make the rules.
It's just silly.
That's what we live in. But let me go back on my answer though, because I said earlier that it didn't matter what they look like, but it does matter what they sound like.
Oh,
Because
this girl
if
sounded like a dead armadillo.
I had a hard time. I always have a hard time when a comic goes on stage.
I hate the shrillness.
And has the low energy. It's hard to pull off. Like the Stephen Wright low energy.
Yeah, this girl
type
had
of,
very low.
There's a way to do that, but the material's got to be
Her
fucking
material was crap.
Crazy funny. But the guy that goes, yeah, my name's John, and I hate myself. I have a small
That can
penis.
be funny though, depending on what their look is, and
it could be, but it's too much of a. I'm saying it's a hurdle for me because
yeah,
I'm big on energy. I'd rather hear someone actually. It's hard to feel the passion from someone who sounds like that.
But also, I also don't like when female comics scream in their girl voice and they're shrieking. I'm like, God, my ears.
Oh, you don't like Lisa Lampanelli?
I did like her when
Or
she
what's
was.
the
I
other
did
one?
like her when she was younger.
What's the other one?
There's like some of them.
No,
like, the voices are just like, oh.
The lesbian one.
The lesbian one.
The lesbian one from New York, tall, she's like 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall.
Yes.
She have a bad voice?
Huh?
She have a bad voice?
No, she yells.
Oh, I don't like yelling.
Yeah.
Well, it depends because a person can have a voice that.
Like Joan Rivers yelled, but it was actually
yeah,
funny.
but she also had a great accent.
Oh, yes, if she pulled it off. Roseanne fucking yelled all the time. But her voice,
Roseanne kind of.
yeah, but it would, you like it or hate it type thing.
I hate it.
Now, damn it? I don't want to, I can't Google, but.
You know who I thought I wasn't going to like? And then I was like, oh, this is very entertaining. Just, again, all I do is stand up. I'm like, oh, didn't go to Mike tonight. I'm just going to, like, just go through your apps and find all the stand up. I was watching Rosie O'Donnell, and I've never seen Rosie O'Donnell do stand up. I've only seen her as an actress. And then the weird tabloid things really kind of put me off on her sometimes because she's just like a little too loud for me. And bitch was funny. I mean, her joke structure was great, and I went in like, I guess I'll just watch it because she's famous.
Rosie.
Fine, I'll just she's obviously where she is for some reason. Let me just watch this shit. Even I'll watch a bad comedy special simply because why does that person have one and I don't? And one day, I'll watch
2 years in. You already headlined for 30 minutes.
No, but that as an actress, that's what I'll do. I'll watch a bad movie. I'm like, there has to be a reason. I'll watch it anyway, or even like stand up. I'll watch it. I'm like, that is bad. Don't do that. So there's always something to learn, or that was really good. Do that, or remember that, or you know what I mean. There's just you can always learn from people, whether you find their comedy good or not. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this because I don't really particularly gravitate toward Rosie O'Donnell. Like I'm not I don't
remember her name.
I don't go, oh sweet, let me go watch this Rosie O'Donnell movie. Like never has that ever come out of my mouth. And I saw like, oh, I'll watch it. I laughed my ass off. She was pretty funny.
Judy Gold.
I don't know who that is. I'm really bad with names.
That's who.
I'll have to go look.
Judy Gold. That's the one. Tall, like 6 feet something, like Amazon size. And Jewish, and not afraid to fucking say it all the time. And
New
York.
That she's Jewish? She screams I'm Jewish all the time?
I mean, that's also part of her act. She's funny, but she yells
a lot.
Yeah, so she's got the New York, like, in your face type of Judy Gold. I was like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention until I had to get out of my face.
Yeah, the shrill. I don't know. It hurts me.
Fuck, we had 2 hours.
Oh wow, we should probably end this.
No, I mean, I could go on, but what's I gonna say? Do you have any? Okay, so usually I ask my guests to always think of something dope to share outside of their own plugs. So something you think that people should check out. It could be a book, could be a YouTube channel, could be a porn site, could be a TV show, could be a
site.
Whatever.
So people say, well, look at this porn site.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's a website called Porner Dude. He actually has a directory by category of all the different sites. It's fucking mind-blowing.
Jesus Lord.
Come on. It's the internet.
People had way too much time on their hands during the pandemic.
This is pre-pandemic.
Wow.
But anyway, something dope. I'll start. Just give you an idea. There's a show I'm watching, and I'm big on anime, as you all know, because I talk about it all the time. There's one on Netflix called Megalobox. It's about this dude who's
big old box. Megalobox. Bots or box?
Box, like boxing.
Oh.
Yes. So it's about this boxer who used to fight, and all his fights were fixed because his trainer was like, I need the money, and then he's like, I want to be a real boxer, and then but he's in the boxing league where they fight with like these like robot arms on top of their arms, so they fight like that. But anyway, I love the animation. Story's pretty simple. And there's a season 2. We can only watch it online at gogoanime.com. I know I give that away before. But anyway, it's a dope show. Megalobox. Simple anime, only like 8-something episodes. If you're an anime fan, check it out. So it's dope shit to share.
Okay. Dope shit to share. I just finished watching Sweet Tooth.
I've been seeing it's a kid with horns. That's all I keep seeing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
So
it's a baby picture.
My friend Danya Ramirez is a lead in this, and she's like the heroine of it. Mm-hmm. They're gonna. I would assume they're going into season 2 because I'd really fucked up if they didn't do season 2.
Is it good?
It's good. It is for kids. It is dark. Um,
Okay.
it was originally I think they wrote, it came out in like 2008, I want to say. It's a graphic novel. In the novel, in the show, Sweet Tooth is this like adorable child that's also part of deer. Um,
Sure.
but uh, in the comic book, in the graphic novel, it's much darker, and he's got all these like, he's very, he's not as upbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I mean, obviously I'm biased. I probably watched it more because I wanted to watch it more because she was in it, but it is about a pandemic, and it was written way before this pandemic,
What's
and
up with the
she
deer
started
though?
filming it. She started filming it at the beginning of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of wild because, like it must be weird to film of something about a pandemic that leads to a post-apocalyptic world, um, while you're at the beginning of a pandemic, and every day you're getting like information if you can't do this and you can't do this and you can't go here, and like that must be really weird of a mindset for her as an actress to be in. So I was like, but there's a disease that happens, and people die. A lot of people die, and then babies are born hybrids.
With the horns. Somebody fucked
Well,
the
no,
deer.
they're all different. That's the thing.
They have tails and shit
There's some that are half pig. There are some that are billy goat. There's some that
because of
are
some virus.
because of, no one knows. But yeah, because of a virus. I don't want to give it away, but like
All
there's,
I see is a baby with horns.
well, he's the cute one. I will.
I felt
There are some real ugly ones.
Yeah, half wolf, half chicken. Made John.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really great story, and you go through all the emotions with it. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of lessons to be learned. There's a lot of
Fair enough.
yeah, there's of explaining like what people think when they're scared, and why they're things that should bring people together separate them. So it's a really fun thing to watch. It's good. You might think it's for kids because they do have some.
Way to sell it.
They do have no, because they do have, because they obviously it is for kids too. So there are some like characters that are kind of for kids, but
Uh-huh.
the storyline is very adult. It's
Okay.
very.
We'll,
I
we'll
would
add it to
watch
my
it.
list. We'll add it to my list. It's a movie or it's a series?
It's a series and it's on Netflix.
How many episodes?
I think 6.
Yeah, I can do 6. Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you good at binge watching?
yeah.
I'll binge watch the fuck out of something. I'll go.
Yes, I do. Not binge watching and binge reading mangas is like I can't stop.
Reading.
Yeah, mangas, Japanese comic books.
Oh. I think the only comic book I've ever read was in college. It was Mouse, and it was
Mouse.
yeah, it's spelled differently, but it's a comic book where the mice it's World War II. The mice represent the Jewish, the cats are Gestapo, and like
That's the
the
only
pigs.
comic book you've read.
It's a graphic novel, but it was for a class.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so
other than that, nothing.
no, I mean I love graphic novels as far
I
as
can
like
show you some shit.
Marvel. I love like Marvel and DC movies and shows and stuff like that. But as far as like reading it as a book, not really my thing.
Oh, I mean, I read online. Really, I'm not buying the mangas because I would be poor otherwise. There's so many of them out there. My brother has has a bunch of them. And I'm like, look, man, I go online. There's a bunch of website. I can read this shit for free. It takes 5 minutes, but there's 400 chapters I got to go through, and every minute I have, that's what I'm reading.
I mean, I did love Voltron when I was a kid.
All right, we're gonna have to talk. No, Voltron is dope. Don't get me
It's
wrong.
fucking dope.
Well, no, Voltron is dope, but I'm saying
That's Japan animation,
it's,
right?
it's come a long way. What's that?
Is that Japan animation? No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Sorta?
anime. It is anime. Yeah,
Anime,
it
okay.
is. It is. Anyway, where can people find you on social media? All that good stuff.
I am at Kitty Sterling on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm also at I am Rachel Sterling on Instagram because I got to be an overachiever, and at rachelsterling.rocks online.
Your website is broken.
It's broken.
Yeah.
How's it broken?
The links. You can click on a link. It's the same page.
What do you mean?
If you try to navigate to the website,
Oh, you know why? Because
it goes.
I try to learn. I'm trying to learn WordPress. So I was like, let me do the updates. And I probably pushed something I shouldn't push. Well, if you look at it on your phone, it's meant to go. It's meant to be.
One page. Sorry, I'm geeking out. All right, we can
Hold
figure
on.
this out.
We're gonna. No. We're gonna do this.
Wait, not on
No,
the air.
why not? Go to www.rachelsterling.rocks. Do this with me, and you won't be sad. So I'm hitting it.
Okay.
We're going here. It's opening oddly fast. Okay, that's new.
From Instagram. Okay.
Yeah. So then.
No, this is not what I mean. If you do this, go to the menu.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't
will
do
let you.
anything.
Right.
Okay.
Now
Home gallery.
go to IMDb. Oh, that's just linked to IMDb.
That's a link to my IMDb.
Go back one. I can't go back. Oh, this is the app. Fuck. Go back to Instagram.
Back to Instagram. Gallery. Yep. We got this. Okay, so there's the gallery.
Oh, it got fixed. It wasn't working on my browser. My bad.
Were you looking at it on a phone or a computer?
Oh, I was on my computer.
Maybe it's maybe I should
Don't
look
worry
at it
about
on
it.
my computer.
It's fine. Go to Rachel Sterling. Is it Rachel Sterling? .rocks?
Yep. .rocks.
.rocks. Check her out wherever she at. If you're in LA, if you see her on the lineup, check it out. Very funny, man. 2 hours. This is one of the longest I've done in a long time.
Now you know how I got through that 30 minutes, huh?
Yeah, I
Bitch
think
can talk.
like I said, it should be RachelSterling.talks. should be the website.
Oh my God, we should get that for comedians.
What?
.talks.
It's probably out there. I mean, there's all kinds of domain extensions you can come up with.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, I want 10%. Whatever you're gonna do next.
Okay.
Don't.
I'm learning WordPress just because.
Oh, WordPress is easy.
For you.
Yeah, it is. That's why I say
like
it's easy.
the only thing I can do is I'm really good at Instagram, and that's like it.
Hey, that's where it's at. Who cares about a website no more?
Yeah.
Instagram is your website.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Make sure you follow the FeedBak everywhere on social media. We're on Spotify, on Apple, on everything. Wherever you listen to podcasts.
I have a podcast. Duh.
Yes, Millennial something.
No, I'm done with that podcast.
Yeah, you haven't had one since December.
I'm done with that podcast. I've turned that because I branded the name, so the name is now the comedy stand-up show that I produce. So it'll travel.
What is it?
So now it's Shut Your Face.
Oh,
it's called Shut Your Face.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Shut my face?
Shut your face?
Never.
Exactly. That's exactly the answer. If you would have said, yeah, I can. Like, no. I get what you get to 30 minutes. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're going to wrap it up. 2 hours. I hope you've got to this point.
Everybody's asleep.
I don't know what we talked about. I can't even recap it.
They're like, if this is what
a lot of fun.
They're like, if this is what a date with this girl is like, this is why she lives with a cat.
Holy shit! I had plans tonight. I think.
Oh, I had plans. I've actually got a million texts. Like, are you done yet? Like, what's happening?
All right. Thank you guys. Talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.